6 is Sandoval, which his number is 14.
What about Sandoval's first name? Do you have that one?
Raul.
Raul?
All right, got It's a beautiful sunny day here in Thousand Oaks, California. We have a California Collegiate League matchup between the Conejo Oaks and your Arroyo Seco Saints. I'm Tommy Wirtz here. With me to my right, Alex Naveja here on the color commentary. The Saints sit at 21-15, second in the CCL South Division, and the Conejo Oaks sitting at 19-17, fighting for a playoff spot. It's the season finale here in Thousand Oaks. The Saints will bat first. Joseph Wiersma on the mound today for the Oaks. To go defensive settings here from left to right in the outfield. Hunter Call will bat seventh in left field today. Raul Sandoval in center. TJ Foreman in right. The infield, Greg Melhaff at third base. JT Naviak round out the left side of the infield. At second base, Grant Smith with first baseman, the power-hitting Brendan Bobo. The strong arm behind the plate today is Anson Eros. And as I said, Joseph Wiersma on the mound. Into the starting lineups here for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Leading off today, playing center field to be Tommy Castillo. The designated hitter. Batting second is Connor Bradshaw. Batting third, the third baseman all season long, Drew Cowley. In the fourth spot, cleanup hitter today, the first baseman, Jake McMurray. Right fielder batting fifth will be Josh Cowden. Batting sixth will be Jag Burden. Playing left field behind the dish today is Bo Willis. Batting seventh, the shortstop. And the second baseman rounding out the 8-9 will be Boning and Cobb. And Dominic Dorado will make the start for the Arroyo Seco Saints. And Alex, we were talking about it. Conejo Oaks fighting for a playoff spot today. They bring their A-game roster, and the Saints still fighting for seeding too. Not sure if they'll get that 2 or the 3 seed right now, but you want to have that home field advantage with Healdsburg pretty much locking up the top spot in the CCL. How do you think we're going to see our series finale here today? What do you think we can expect from both these teams who are still fighting for playoff spots?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The last game that these two teams played against each other, it got very choppy. We had Coach Aaron Milam for the Saints get tossed, are trying to argue a balk call. Jackson Cobb was going from second to third on that balk, and just things got very interesting. Both teams had some series of exchanged words, and just what you like to see in making things very much interesting late to be able to make some playoff pushes.
And the first pitch to Carrillo will hit the outside corner, and he'll be down 0-1 to Joe Wiersma. Saints coming off a loss yesterday to Santa Barbara, 1-4, as they were on the road, and Conejo just coming off a victory, 14-6 over Orange County yesterday, and that one bounces in, and the count will be evened up 1-1 now. Tommy Castillo, the Long Beach State product, integrated very well into this Saints roster, as that one's going to be a grounder just past the pitcher. It's going to be a tough play for Melhaff. The speed from Castillo will beat it out, and the Saints will have the leadoff man on via the leadoff single.
That is in no man's land. There was no chance for the third baseman to be able to come in to make that play. Melhaff had to just barehand it and try to come up with a quick play, but with the wheels that Tommy Castillo possesses, he was definitely going to beat that out.
And definitely showing off the wheels there was Castillo. Just got past Wiersma, wasn't really ready to make a play on it. Melhaff had to charge up on it, and it was never in time. And now that'll take the Pepperdine wave, Connor Bradshaw. And Castillo's going to go off. Bradshaw shows bunt, pops it up, but near the backstop. Aggressive move from the Saints right off the rip. Castillo stealing, Bradshaw bunting.
Oh, he's not hiding it at all. He clearly is a base stealer, and he will attack you with the first pitch that he sees. He will get a great jump, and he has been doing so. It's been very tough to be able to throw him out for the opposing team. He has definitely been a headache for the catchers behind the plate.
A lot of speed possessed all around this lineup. The second pitch to Bradshaw, he's swinging away now. He'll foul it off again, and he'll be down 0-2 to Wiersma. Tommy Castillo reaching via the leadoff single. Now Bradshaw stepping in, down 0-2 to Wiersma. And has been one of the best bats, if not the best bat, all season long for the Saints. Averaged north of 400 in conference play, and 390 for the series all around. And Wiersma's going to check over at Castillo, try to steal last time, and he's in there easily.
Tommy, I want to go back to you talking about all of these playoff scenarios going on right now. We will definitely be on the lookout for some of the ball games going on throughout the league. At 4:30 p.m., the Santa Barbara Foresters will be playing against Orange County Riptide. That is going to be one of the games to look out for, especially this one as well.
And Castillo over there had maybe an early jump. Wiersma never saw it. They told him to step off, and he did. They'll reset. And that'll be an interesting one between Orange County. They're in Irvine today, and we know how much they can rip the cover off the ball in Orange County for sure, but the pitching from Santa Barbara always dominant. That pitch to Bradshaw is going to miss. It'll be the first ball. It'll be 1-2 now to Bradshaw.
Orange County's been a real sleeper team this year. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to get. You'll get a very offensive juggernaut type of team one game, another game they'll be very quiet. It's a hit or miss with them, quite frankly. And this is a game that it really has to be all about execution, do or die today.
And they check over at Castillo again, safe. And Orange County's always been a team that can put up runs. It's just been their pitching that's been a little bit off sometimes this year. And if that's on today, you can for sure bet that Orange County's coming out swinging. They're fighting for that other playoff spot with Conejo here. And the 1-2, Castillo's going to take off. Bradshaw's going to swing and miss. Arrow's going to throw down. Not going to be in time to get Castillo, but they will get one via the strikeout on Bradshaw, and they'll be the first out of the inning now with Drew Cowley coming up.
Trading the outs to moving a runner into scoring position. Castillo once again just grabbing another bag. It's almost, we're seeing him steal a base every game now. He's already stacking up at least, this is steal number 6 on the year.
And Arrows with a strong arm behind the plate. Not going to be easy, but Castillo sure makes it look like that. As the first pitch from Wiersma to Cowley will find the zone, and it'll be strike one to Drew Cowley. And Bradshaw definitely fooled, it looked like, on that off-speed, was way out in front of it, and maybe benefited Castillo with the jump as well to get to second base there. Looked in there easily. 0-1 now, Wiersma to Cowley. Cowley, of course, the Cal Poly Pomona Bronco. Takes a shot at that one and fouls it off. It'll be 0-2 now to Cowley. And has just shown that anyone can come from anywhere in college baseball. Doesn't matter about where you are, it's about where you finish up.
It's a great way to put it right there. A lot of guys start in the community college level. They have 2 years to be able to show what they've got. And a lot of guys have some amazing things in the JC level. But then once they transfer, they go from a junior college level to a huge D1 baseball college. And it's just nice to see how these players develop to go from a CIF level to going into the CCCAA for community college. Then you go to the D1. It's a crazy wave.
And that one's going to get over the head of Naviak at shortstop. Castillo is looking back. He'll probably be held up at third. He will. But Drew Cowley's day will start off with a single. And now runners will be at the corner for McMurray.
Smart play there by Tommy Castillo. That was a play that Naviak was trying to climb the ladder and try to get an out of it. And, of course, if Castillo took off, Naviak was able to make that grab. All he's got to do is just flip it to second, and that's the end of the inning. So this inning still stays alive. 2 runners at the corners, and you give an opportunity to Jake McMurray to swing the bat here.
And after that single from Cowley, runners will be at the corners now for the Oral Roberts product. Jake McMurray has really found his way up near the top of the order, batting in the cleanup spot today, swinging away on the first pitch there, and fouled off the backstop 0-1. McMurray, not a guy that hits for a lot of power, but does hit for average. North of 280 for the batting average, slugging percentage just under 360. But can come up big here with a hit, and that one misses high, and the count will be even up 1-1 now to McMurray.
You can always count on Jake McMurray to get you a great at-bat, always put the ball in play, and this is the right guy to have in this situation. You put the ball in play with runners at the corners here, and he's always trying to look for some RBI opportunities.
Couple ducks on the pond for him there. Fastball from Wiersma blows right past McMurray, and he's down 1-2. Castillo at third, reaching via the leadoff infield single. Bradshaw striking out And a hit and run opportunity, missed at it. Castillo steals second. Drew Cowley single. Moves him over to third. Runners at the corner for McMurray, the 1-2 pitch. And they'll check over at Drew Cowley, and he's safe at first. Saints have gotten to Wiersma already once this year. Took the loss last time he played against the Saints. Looking to do the same thing here. 1-2 to McMurray. He's chopping it over towards second base. Naviak, only play is going to be at first, and there will be a run coming in on the ground ball to Naviak. Cowley still at second.
Great way to get the first run. Doesn't really matter how you get the first run in, but initially Jake McMurray was able to get the job done, killing 2 stones with 1 bird, and just being able to do it just like that, move the runner to scoring position.
And a strong chopper to JT Naviak. Cowley was hustling. Only play was at first. So now a runner still in scoring position with 2 down now here for the BYU Cougar, Josh Cowden. And he takes ball 1 high and inside. One run across now in the top of the first for the Saints. Good to get started early with this lineup. As we said, still fighting for some seeding in the playoffs. Have officially clinched, but now looking to be as high as they can, as Drew Cowley leads from second, and Josh Cowden takes that one in for strike 1, 1-1 now.
Every game at this point needs to be played as hard as possible. As just going into this week, a 6-game week, you knew it was going to be a very busy week for all of the SoCal teams here. You know that the Barons unfortunately weren't going to be a team that were going to make it, but they have a role of their own, and that's called the spoiler team. They're the ones that are just trying to spoil some of the goals that these teams have to try to make it to the postseason. And quite frankly, they have played some excellent baseball as well.
And after a take and a swing, counts now evened up 2-2 to Josh Cowden. And we saw the Barons yesterday actually beating the San Luis Obispo Blues 4-1 yesterday. First time they beat them this year. And the Saints have had their fair share of troubles with them. Lost 2 of them to them this year, and the last one took a walk-off to beat them, the 2-2. Cowden watches it, and it's in the dirt. This count will be full. But anyone in the CCL South really can come and show up any day. Maybe it wasn't the Barons season, but definitely did play spoiler a couple times. And no easy victories in the South Division. Now Wiersma, full count pitch to Cowden. Swinging, and just behind on it, it'll go over the backstop for a foul ball.
How competitive the SoCal division has been. Almost all 4 teams that were locked in through since game 1. You name it, the Blues, the Foresters, the Saints, and even Conejo Oaks and the Riptide. I guess you could name 5 teams.
As Cowden's going to take that one inside, and it'll be ball 4. And he'll reach via the walk now with Jag Burden to take his hacks at the 6th spot. And you mentioned the Riptide, they've really come on as of late. The Conejo Oaks, I think we're seeing as a better team at the start of the season. But the Riptide really figuring things out with a star-studded outfield led by Kyle Booker and Dwight Allen, the D1 products from Tennessee and Georgia. And they've had much success in the later seasons as Burden takes strike 1 from Wiersma.
Conejo Oaks, no doubt, had a great start to the year. They came in boiling hot. They defeated the Saints the first 2 meetings. You remember how close it was, just a 1-run difference between these 2 teams. And they have put up some great games against the Saints, but it's the Saints that made the adjustments. That's the reason why they are the way that they are. That's why they're so good, and made the adjustments at the plate, made adjustments on the mound, and have defeated Conejo Oaks and have been able to reverse the score on them.
And that one fouled off now, making this count 1-2 to Jag Burden. Drew Cowley at second, Josh Cowden at first. 1 run already across in the inning after a Jake McMurray ground ball scored Tommy Castillo. And the pitch from Wiersma, it's a shot into center field for Jag Burden. Looks like they should be under it in center. It's Raul Sandoval ending the top of the first. But one run does come across for the Saints, and they get out ahead early in Thousand Oaks. It'll be 1-0 heading to the bottom of the first with Carrillo, Eros, and Bobo coming up for the Oaks. Saints get one run across in the top of the first, and they'll be faced with the Conejo Oaks top of the order here in the bottom of the first. Let's get into the defense so far for the Saints. First, from left to right in the outfield, it'll be Jag Burden in left, Tommy Castillo in center, Josh Cowden in right. Left to right on the infield, third base and shortstop, respectfully, Drew Cowley and Brandon Boning. Right side of the infield, Jackson Cobb at second base with Jake McMurray at first. Behind the dish today, Bo Willis. And pitching today, making his third start of the summer, is Dominic Dorado, the Binghamton product, lefty southpaw. Not too many of them on the Saints staff, but Dorado will get the start. Well, actually, it looks like we had a... Is that Dorado, or is he wearing Stamos' number?
Looks like he's looking... He has Stamos' number.
That might make things weird, but it is Dorado on the mound for the Saints today. Austin Carrillo will lead things off for the Saints. Carrillo, Eros, and Bobo will be the top three. Batting fourth, second base, Grant Smith. Five spot, TJ Foreman. Playing right field, number 6 is Raul Sandoval in center today. Greg Melhaff batting seventh, playing third base. Hunter Call in center field, and JT Naviak is going to get things rounded out at the shortstop, batting ninth. And Carrillo shows bunt and pulls away, and it'll be ball one to Carrillo.
Hopefully this isn't going to be like the Michael Jordan going from 23 to 45. I think if Dorado has a day with a number 18.
And there's going to be a play over by Dorado. He gets off the mound short and stumbles. The bunt from Carrillo will reach as a single. Dorado was going after it, ends up falling over, and will be unable to make the play. The leadoff man will get on for the Oaks.
Started like it was going to be something scary, but as soon as we saw Dorado smiling, we knew it wasn't going to be a big deal. He lost his footing there on the mound. Maybe he was trying to just make a diving grab coming up short. Maybe it was looking like a not top 10 play. You could cue the not top 10 play music out of that.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling over there off the mound. And Carrillo will reach on the bunt single. First pitch now to Eros is bounced in the dirt for ball one. And virtually 2 bunts. A swinging bunt kind of from Castillo to start us off here. 2 infield singles for each team now. As Anson Arrows takes his hacks against Dorado. And this one's going to be a ground ball over to third. It's going to stay fair. Drew Cowley over to Jackson Cobb, over to McMurray, and it will not be in time at first, but they will get the lead man at second.
Drew Cowley, the way he just got rid of the baseball so quick, he knew he didn't have time to really set feet. As soon as the ball was in his glove, he just delivered with a quick sidearm throw. It was a little wide and high for Jackson Cobb, but the throw that Cobb put up was still very close over to first, but still a tip of the cap to Drew Cowley for being able to get the lead runner.
Trying to go 5-4-3. They'll get the leadoff man. That'll be important. And now the lefty-lefty matchup with the power-hitting Conejo Oak, Brendan Bobo to the plate. First pitch to Bobo is going to be outside, ball 1. Big play there by Drew Cowley to get the Speedy Carrillo off at second. Arrows able to hustle down and avoid the double play. Close play at first, but just 1 out. And now next pitch to Bobo is going to be low and away, and he'll be ahead of Dorado, 2-0.
Last time the Saints met up against Brandon Bobo, faced off against Tommy Hannan, and the first pitch that was delivered off of Hannan, Bobo just annihilated the baseball.
And Bobo's going to ground one over to first there. McMurray's going to have a tough play. He'll only be able to go to first. And it'll be 2 down now with the ground ball to first. And Arrows will move over to second.
Bobo still doing his job. Squared up on the baseball very nicely. Just ended up in the glove of McMurray. Still got the job done to move Anson Arrows over to second to allow the cleanup hitter, Grant Smith, to be able to get the first run.
A little bit of trouble with the ground ball. McMurray probably only was going to go to first anyway. And like you said, that will bring up Grant Smith with a runner at second base, Anson Arrows. And 2 down in the inning. Dorado gotten a lot of ground balls so far. All 3 batters hitting the ball on the ground. And that first pitch to Smith is a breaking ball inside, ball 1. Carrillo reaching on an infield bunt single. Then the fielder's choice with Anson Arrows. Now standing at second base, Brendan Bobo, the ground ball to the first baseman is how we've gotten here. 2 down in the inning, and a foul ball there from Grant Smith. Count will be evened up 1-1. Dorado looking to get through the first inning without allowing a run. Just the 1 hit so far for the Oaks. Grant Smith looking to even things up here with a ball to the outfield, the 1-1. It's going to find the bottom of the zone, and now ahead of Smith, 1-2.
I like how precise Dorado has been here to deal with the middle part of the lineup. Hasn't really been leaving any pitches at the heart of the plate. Has been getting them in the corners, leaving the baseball very low so that way these hitters can't get a hold of anything.
Has not made good contact so far. All ground balls. The 1-2. Smith fouls it straight back, and the count will remain the same, 1-2. We've seen so far Dorado handle the top part of the order, getting through Carrillo, Arrows, and Bobo with just the 1 hit, and all ground balls that maybe could have ended this inning if Dorado doesn't lose his footing on that bunt to Carrillo. And the 1-2 from Dorado, it's on the corner, and Smith will go down looking. No runs in the inning, 1 hit for the Oaks. And they'll go back to the top of the second with the Saints leading 1-0, and it'll be Willis, Boning, and Cobb due up for the Saints. 1-0 here in the top of the second inning. Saints come around for one in the top half. Now, John Bo Willis will come in to take his hacks off Joseph Wiersma. Willis batting in the 7th spot today and catching. Looking to lead things off here in the top of the second. First pitch in the dirt, curveball, and Willis lays off for ball 1.
Yesterday went 0 for 4 in the lineup. Got the day off behind the plate, but was still in the lineup. Struck out 3 times. A very tough day at the plate for Willis.
Looking to do something different here. It's a fly ball over to right field. Looks like it should be an easy play for Foreman, and it will be the first out of the top of the second.
Foreman was saying first step forward. It looked like the wind. There is a wind that is playing a factor here, folks. Not sure how well you guys can see it, but there is a very strong breeze coming from left field going to right field. So anybody trying to pull the baseball, try to hit it right over that 325 mark at third. It's going to be very tough today. The wind will have a control on the baseball today.
Should be beneficial to the very lefty-heavy lineup for the Saints. Now Brandon Boning stepping in against Wiersma, and he's swinging first pitch, but this one's going to get out of play, and it'll just be a long strike 1. Boning playing shortstop today as usual. Part of that great middle infield between Boning and Cobb from Cal State Northridge. The senior this year, getting his last reps of summer ball before he heads off to Northridge. And that's a curveball by Wiersma. Misses well outside, and count will be even now 1-1.
Getting an opportunity to work with one of college baseball greats, head coach, and Dave Serrano is a huge name all throughout NCAA college baseball. And just getting an opportunity to work with such a big name there, CSUN is going to be on the rise. I'm going to give them at least a year or 2.
And a ground ball over to the third baseman. It'll be a fair ball. Melhalf's going to make a strong throw. Bobo able to reach over and make the play. It'll be out number 2 on the ground ball to third, and Boning is retired.
Brendan Bobo doing the splits right there, stretching out for that out because he knew it was going to be problems with Brandon Boning flying through the base path, but also it's all due respect to Melhalf and Bobo. Melhalf showing off the arm and Bobo just trying to stretch out as much as possible.
And that'll bring up Jackson Cobb now for the Saints with 2 down here. And Brendan Bobo, one of my favorite players to watch on an opposing team. Still young, just was a freshman this last year at Fullerton, and has a lot of pop in that young body. And once he starts to grow and develop more, you can only imagine he's going to get even stronger and be a threat at the NCAA Division I level. Cobb takes the first pitch and swinging on the second one. It's going to be a ground ball over to Smith, and he will toss it over to Bobo, and the Saints will go 1-2-3 in the top of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, and we'll head to the bottom of the second inning, and it'll be Foreman, Sandoval, and Melhalf up for the Conejo Oaks. You're listening to Arroyo Seco Baseball on the Saints Radio Network. After giving one up in the first, Wiersma is able to retire the Saints 1, 2, and 3 in the top half of the second. Dominic Dorado out for his second inning of work. Saints currently lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the second, and TJ Foreman, the right fielder today, will lead us off in the bottom of the second inning. And he's swinging away first pitch. Would have been a strike, but fouled off. It'll still be 0-1. Dorado wearing number 18 today, usually number 6, but has borrowed Chris Stamos' jersey for some undisclosed reason. Maybe the lefties like to keep things loose, switch around the jerseys a little bit. 0-1 delivery from Dorado is going to be low and inside for an evening the count up now, 1-1.
And you know, every pitcher has their own ritual, their own routine. It's like pitchers speak their own language. They have their own lingo when it comes to a pitcher speaking to another pitcher. It's very different how they carry themselves.
See if that'll work today for him, and he switches numbers permanently. That one fouled into the glove of Willis, and it'll be 1-2 now.
That's what I would be worried about if you're Chris Stamos, if he might be keeping your number 18, but maybe Stamos will be able to utilize his number 6, and maybe that'll bump him up as well.
Not superstitious, just a little stitious. Ground ball up the middle. It's going to be a tough play for Boning, and it will get past him. And for the second inning in a row, the Conejo Oaks will have the leadoff man aboard with TJ Foreman.
That baseball just managed to sneak away from Dorado and from Boning. It looked like Dorado had somewhat of a shot, tried to reach out for the baseball, at least to try to slow it down for Brandon Boning. But a very tough play for Boning. That was just a baseball that was well hit in a tough spot of the defense.
And it's a single now for TJ Foreman to start things off. And Raul Sandoval, center fielder today, has one man on and nobody out here in the second inning. Lefty on the mound, should see a short lead from Foreman. And first pitch from Dorado is in the dirt. Nice grab by Willis for ball 1. Dorado could use one of the ground balls he's been getting today. No balls in the air so far for the Oaks. Everyone hitting the ball on the ground, whether it's sneaking through or infield single as well. And that's going to be the first ball in the air. It's to right field. He's taking a step back. We're going to watch it go, and it's gone. A ball that just kept carrying, and Raul Sandoval has given the Oaks the lead in the bottom of the second inning, and it's 2-1 after the 2-run shot.
That was a baseball that was well struck there by Raul Sandoval there. And not to mention, we talked about this in the last inning. The wind is blowing here in Thousand Oaks. Decided to go with the jet stream, and of course, nothing looks more nice than going with an opposite field home run and just getting help with the jet stream to be able to just carry that out of the ballpark.
Looked like it was going to be a easy play for Cowden in right, and that ball just kept carrying. And it gives the Oaks the lead now. Nobody out still here for Greg Melhaff. And Dorado looking to get back to work here and blowing the first one by him for strike 1. Big shot from Sandoval. TJ Foreman reaching via the leadoff single. First ball we've seen hit in the air, left the field. Dorado now inside on Melhaff. And evening the count now, 1-1.
You almost knew that baseball was going to go a long way, just loud contact off of the bats. You knew it wasn't going to be a routine play. That was going to be something that either Cowden was going to have to go deep for, or that was not going to come back.
And Dorado a little rattled on the mound now, maybe. Curveball gets away from him and hits Melhaff. And the first 3 runners now reaching base. Single home run hit by pitch.
Number 10, Hunter Cobb.
And that'll bring up Hunter Call now, playing left field today for the Oaks. And he'll have a runner on. Melhaff with nobody out still here in the bottom of the second.
The one thing that the coaching staff is really going to keep an eye out on is how do their pitchers rebound? How do they respond out of giving up runs or giving up a long ball like that? So that's going to be something that this coaching staff will be looking out for, especially going into the playoffs going in this week. So that's going to be that's a big thing that this coaching staff always looks out for.
Dorado starts off Hunter Call with a strike called. And quickly ahead of him, 0-1. Now needs to work his way out of this inning that he has lost the lead in. Still early, bottom of the second. 2-1 Conejo Oaks as that one's fouled off by Call. And he'll be behind 0-2 to Dorado. Dorado looking to get a ground ball here. Get 2 outs with 1 pitch after giving up the home run to Sandoval earlier in the inning. And here's the 0-2 to Call. Check swing, but makes contact anyway. And it'll remain 0-2.
Pretty surprising how he was still able to make some contact on that little check swing. Just goes to show his hand-eye coordination, barrel to ball, how he's able to just fight off pitches like that.
Always have to be ready to attack when in the box. The 0-2 pitch from Dorado, low and inside. It'll be the first ball of the AB to Call. Saints have played from behind well this season. Seen a couple of comeback victories. As we just said, last victory coming off a walk-off in the 9th, as that one is called a foul ball. And heard a little bit of something on that one. And it'll be a 1-2 still to Call.
Got to be a sigh of relief there for Bo Willis behind the dish. That was going to be a play that was going to be very tough for him to make. Have to track that one down close to the backstop. Have to come up with a strong throw over to first. Would have led to runners on first and second, no doubt.
And the 1-2 here to Call just on the inside part of the plate. And off of it, it'll be 2-2 now to Call.
It's not a bad location for Dorado. I would definitely live there, try to fire it once again. Maybe you'll get a different outcome out of it.
Close on the corner there, Dorado looking for his first out here still in the second. That one's going to be a ground ball over to Cowley. He's going to go over to second base. It's Cobb firing back over to McMurray. At first, not going to be in time, but they will get the lead man at second base, Melhalf, and Hunter Call will reach on the fielder's choice.
Another 5-4 put out here, keeping Drew Cowley very, very busy throughout this ball game. He's going to have to keep playing on his toes and just keep trying to look for those double plays.
And we've seen 2 choppers over there. He's been playing inside, and it's benefited getting the lead runner, but just unable to turn the 5-4-3 yet today. And now JT Naviak, the 9-hitter, will flip the order over. And runners going at first, and Willis is going to make a throw down from his knees. It's going to not be in time, and Hunter Call will steal second base.
Call was going on first movement, and that's exactly how you got to steal off of lefty. Sometimes it could be a gamble, but that's really the only way that you could do it. If you steal on first move and the lefty pitcher throws over to first, that's when you got to slide on the outside part of the bag and make the tag a little tougher.
And Call definitely showing off the speed there. Pitch was a ball to JT Naviak, and that one there showed bunt. Pulled away. It was called a strike anyway. Counts now evened up 1-1. Runner at second base is Hunter Call. Just one down here in the bottom of the second. 2 runs already given up for Dom Dorado on a home run from Raul Sandoval. And he's got Naviak swinging there. And he's ahead of him now 1-2. Dorado found himself in a little bit of trouble to start the inning, gave up the leadoff single to Foreman, then of course the home run to Sandoval, then hitting Melhalf, finally getting the first out last AB with Hunter Call grounding out into the fielder's choice, but eliminating the double play opportunity you would think after stealing second. He's going to try to steal third as well. It's a ball hit the center field. Call's going to have to go back, and he lost it in center field. It's not going to be there. Cowden was near it in right, and Castillo never saw it in center field. But a ball that I'm sure wasn't really near him. Much closer to Cowden over there in right. He's able to find it. Naviak will be at second, and Call will be at third.
It's a very unfortunate play. The sun really is playing towards center. As a center fielder, that's a tough one for you to track down. The sun is actually in your eyes. I mean, it's a very tough play for Castillo to make. Got to use the glove to be able to shield your sun, see if you can locate it last minute. That was a baseball that was hit to right center, something that it's not an easy play.
And after the sun helps out, give the double to Naviak, Carrillo is going to be back up top of the order here. And after reaching on the bunt single, let's see if he swings away here. That curveball is going to find the zone. 0-1 to Dorado. Runners now at second and third as Hunter Call was stealing on the play, but looked like it was going to be caught. Ran back to second, then ran back to third. And that's a nice spot to sit there for Dorado. Now ahead of Carrillo, 0-2.
Now it really puts Dorado in a tough spot. Unfortunately, your defense wasn't able to get you an out there on what almost looked like an easy fly ball to be able to track down, but you have traffic in scoring position. Got to find yourself and dig yourself out of this one.
0-2 curveball to Carrillo. Will miss inside, 1-2. And it looked like a surefire play, like you said, in center field to Castillo. But as the ball was still in the air, putting his hands out, motioning that he had no idea where it went, lost it in the sun. And it's an easy double for Naviak. Ball falls in there. And now two runners in scoring position with just one down for Carrillo. Just chopping at it, and it's going to get by. A defensive swing gets past Cowley at third. It'll be a single, and another run will come across for the Oaks.
Austin Carrillo, like you said, that defensive swing just tomahawked the baseball. He just poked it the other way, and that is just recognition of where the defense is playing on you. Just hit it right in between the 5 and 6 hole, and that's a tough play that the left side of the infield would have to make anyways.
And that single, Carrillo's second hit of the day, his second single. He picks up the RBI. 3 runs now come across in the second inning. And Dorado's going to have to try to attack Eros, and something he's done very well today, getting a lot of first pitch strikes. That one fouled off, 0-1. Runners at the corners now for Eros. Grounded into a fielder's choice last time. Drew Cowley throwing it over to second. Eros able to beat out the throw from Cobb to McMurray. And swinging again here, it's another chopper. Looks like another run will come across the score. Boning's only play is going to be at first, and it's not going to be in time. It's going to be an infield single for Anson Eros.
There's another run that comes in to score there for the Conejo Oaks, and they're really looking to have a breakout inning if they haven't already. They are just trying to get as much of a lead as possible against the Saints. They are very familiar with how the Saints play their game, and quite frankly, the Oaks, they're playing it right. Try to create as big of a lead as possible, and you put the pressure on the Saints' bats.
Fighting for their playoff spot is Conejo today, and 4 runs have come across here in this second inning so far for the Oaks. And Brendan Bobo with 1 out will take his hacks. And he sends a shot into right field, but it'll be just foul. And that one was crushed by Bobo.
That was a nuke hit by Brandon Bobo. You cannot give him anything in the inner half of the plate. Otherwise, he's going to do that to you. He's going to piece up on the baseball very nicely. Got to attack him on the low and outside part of the plate. Make it difficult for him to be able to destroy the baseball.
And Bobo swinging big at the second pitch. This one's in the dirt, but it's going to get by Willis. And the runners will advance and take away another double play opportunity. And now 2 runners in scoring position for Bobo. It's Carrillo and Eros. Big swing again from Bobo there. You saw, pulled his head off of it and swung right through the baseball. The curveball fooled him. And Dorado going to have to get this one himself, it looks like. 0-2 the count to Bobo. Runners at second and third, the pitch. In the dirt, good stop there from Willis. And it'll be the first ball to Bobo, 1-2. TJ Foreman, Raul Sandoval, Hunter Call, and JT Nabiak all coming around to score in this inning. 4 runs for the Oaks. The 1-2 to Bobo. It's going to be a tough play over there. And it looked like it was just going to be an easy ground ball to first. And he was called out, but McMurray throwing home, unable to get Carrillo. And a very close play, but it'll just be 1 out and another run. 5 now coming across the score in the bottom of the second.
At this point, you got to just collect outs when presented to you. Try to get Dorado out of this heat. Most importantly, get him back into the dugout as quick as possible. Already a total of 5 runs coming in to score here in this inning. And just things looking very positive here for the Oaks.
Bobo will get the RBI on his second ground ball to first base. And Grant Smith now stepping in. They will have batted around now. The 9th batter coming up in the inning. And he fouls the first pitch off. And he'll be behind on Dorado, 0-1. Oaks coming off very aggressive, swinging out of their minds right now at anything across the plate. Real aggressive. And that one misses, evening the count up 1-1. Five runs come across here in the second. After one came across for the Saints in the first, they trail this one 1-5. And a shot from Smith goes through, and another run will come in after the single through third and short. And now they have batted around with TJ Foreman coming back up, who led off the inning.
They just continue to hit Dom Dorado. It only took one time through the order, not even one time through the order. It just took seeing one full inning out of Dorado to allow still the middle to the bottom half of the lineup to be able to see all of Dorado's stuff, being able to time up on his stuff, square up on the baseball very nicely. These are baseballs that are hit very strongly, squared up on them. So right now, Conejo Oaks, they are just dominating this game offensively.
And it prompts a visit from pitching coach Josh Schmidt, as we probably saw coming after 5 given up for Dorado here in the second inning and still needing 1 out. Grant Smith just got the RBI single there. TJ Foreman will come up for the second time this inning. This is how it started off. He started things off with a leadoff single, then the man on deck, Raul Sandoval, going yard to right field is how this thing got started up. 2 runs there for the Oaks. Then Melhoff hit by a pitch. Hunter Call, fielder's choice, able to reach base. Then stealing his way over to second, JT Nabiak getting the double that was lost in the air by Tommy Castillo. And Carrillo then got an RBI, as long as Arrows and Bobo, all 3 of them getting an RBI, and Grant Smith as well, as the runner's going to take off. Smith, ball gets away into center field, but Smith will stay at second. And the first pitch to Foreman is strike 1.
Now at this point, they're trying to take as many bags as possible, and they're going to keep stealing bags until Bo Willis just sends some authority and just is able to throw somebody out. Right now, Willis is just trying to have a quick transfer and not even popping up. He's staying on a knee and just trying to pull the trigger down to second, and as of now, he has not been very lucky.
Seems to be some argument over there between the Oaks coach and the umpire. Not sure what he's discussing. His man did steal a base, maybe calling for some sort of interference to get him over to third, because Smith, as the ball got into center field, remained at second. And we will resume play. Nothing will go on. And this second inning will continue. 0-1 the count to TJ Foreman, taking his second AB of the inning. Oaks batted around, 10th batter up. The 0-1, it's fouled off. Still swinging heavy are the Oaks. 0-2 now the count.
There is an arm warming up here for the Saints. It looks like it's Corey Shepard that's already tossing in the pen, as we may be seeing some very early relief coming in for the Saints in this ball game.
5 spot for Dorado in the second Could lead to Shepard coming in third. Needs to get through this inning first. It's 0-2 the count to Foreman. And he's grounding it over to Jackson Cobb. This should end the inning. And it's a play that is not made. Showing off the speed is Foreman. Cobb taking his time at second. And runners will stay on the corners.
And once again, this inning just continues to go. And this is just a nightmare of an inning for Dom Dorado. At this point, unfortunately, his defense hasn't been able to get him out of it. He has gotten fly balls. He has gotten ground balls hit to his defense. And unfortunately, they have not been able to get the job done today.
Ground ball to second, beating it out was TJ Foreman. What a play by him. And now Raul Sandoval, the man of the inning. He went yard last time, and he's ripping it in there. There was a hit and run, and one run's going to come around to score, and they're going to try to wave the other one. They're going to hold him up now. And it's Raul Sandoval knocks in Grant Smith, and TJ Foreman on the hit and run was going around second, ends up at third, and now 6 runs have come across in this second inning of work.
The nightmare continues here for Dom Dorado, but just a tip of the cap of what a perfect execution of a hit and run there was there for the Conejo Oaks. Runner was taking off and squaring up on the baseball, splitting the gap over in the outfield, and just allowing the runner to go from first to third.
And first pitch to Melhalf is taken low, ball 1. 3 straight hits, all with 2 outs for the Oaks. Dorado comes back, evens it up now 1-1. 6 runs so far in the inning. And the Saints looking to get out of this one as quickly as possible. Run's going to take off again. There's going to be no throw down from Willis. It'll be a catcher's indifference for Raul Sandoval.
At this point, just really focus on the hitter. Just try to get Greg Melhoff out and just try to come back into the dugout and let the sticks work. There's still plenty of baseball to be played here. Already been a huge breakout inning for the Oaks.
1-2 now the count. This one up in the air for Melhoff. It'll be boning underneath it, and the inning will finally come to an end. 6 runs come across for the Oaks, and they take a 6-1 lead now heading into the second inning. And the Saints will have their work cut out for them in the top of the third inning. You're listening to Arroyo Seco Baseball on the Saints Radio Network. huge inning from the Conejo Oaks, even bigger than I made it sound. An error on me that last inning. That was 7 runs that came across to score for the Oaks. Told you it was 6-1. The score is 7-1 through 2 innings. Big inning for Conejo. The Saints will be back at the top of the order now for Tommy Castillo to try to get things going against Joseph Wiersma. And they'll need to start chipping away early after giving up a 7 spot in the bottom of the second. And the first pitch to Castillo is taken for ball 1. Next pitch over here to Castillo. It's high, but clips the zone, evening the count now 1-1.
If you're the Saints, you want to work every at-bat. Take your time at the plate. Don't want to get too happy inside of the plate. Try to work the count as much as possible. And just at this point, get base runners on. Try to come up with your own execution. Try to find ways to move runners into scoring position. Hey, and you've got a strong part of the lineup coming up. So you could definitely try to cut this deficit little by little.
Looking at the bright side of things, better to give up that 7 spot as that one's fouled off by Carrillo after taking the last pitch. The count's now evened up 2-2. And by Castillo, rather. And if you're the Saints, looking at it on the bright side, rather give up that 7 spot in the second inning than, let's say, in the 8th inning. Know what you got to do. Work from behind now. And like you said, Alex, just get base runners. As Castillo's going to ground that one over. And third base coach Connor Spencer will have to field that one, but it will be a foul ball. Count still evened up now 2-2.
Whew, that would be a tough one. 8 runs in the 8th inning. That would be a tough one to be able to come back on. But like you said, this is still a very young ball game that's going on here for the Saints. This will prove to see how good of a baseball team are they. Can they come back and face adversity and try to come back from a pretty big coming from behind from 6.
That one bouncing in the dirt. Count will be even full now. And Wiersma the delivery to Castillo. He's going to ground this one. It's a chopper over to short. Naviak. It's going to be a tough play to get the speedy Castillo, but it will be the first out of the top of the 3rd inning.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 25.
Always got to run it out. That's what I like about Tommy Castillo. It doesn't matter if he hits a routine fly ball, if he hits a ground ball anywhere, if he knows that he's going to be routinely out, he still runs it out, and he's still going to work for his outs.
Hard chopper there was going to be a big play for Naviak. Now you see the Oaks working into a shift here. Naviak playing in the middle infield with Smith near right field for Connor Bradshaw. First pitch of his AB, second time up, is ball 1. Bradshaw strikeout victim last time up. And he's going to take a pitch there and quickly be ahead of Wiersma 2-0. Oaks must have a different scouting report than us on Bradshaw. Loves to hit the ball the other way. And leaving a big gap between short and third now. And Wiersma not giving him anything to hit the other way, though. He'll be ahead of him 3-0 now.
Really trying to play him pull. Second baseman Grant Smith is playing in between first and second in case if he's able to pull the baseball.
3-0 now the count to Bradshaw. The pitch from Wiersma. He's taken all the way, and it misses. It's 4 straight pitches, and Bradshaw is on via the walk.
Just find any way to get base runners on, allow the middle part of the lineup to try to drive them in, and just work. Just take it inning by inning. Don't take it as a bunch. Take it, if you could score a run in every inning, by the time you get to the 8th and the 9th, you've got yourself a pretty interesting ball game, and it'll get very fun at that point.
Drew Cowley, now Mr. Saint, taking his hacks here, and that's now 5 straight balls from Wiersma as he starts off Cowley 1-0. And Bradshaw Cowley has been the great 1-2 punch for the Saints. Bradshaw being the leadoff hitter most of the season, then with Castillo coming in late, has moved to that 2 spot and has been very comfortable. And now 2-0 to Cowley means Wiersma has just 2 pitches away from walking 2 men on 6 straight balls already. And still having trouble missing the zone. That's going to prompt a visit from Eros. 7 straight balls from Wiersma, 3-0 to Cowley.
See, it's great to have big rallies, huge innings, just like the Oaks did. But what has to be on the back of your mind is, what about the starting pitcher for the Oaks? He is just sitting there. His arm is wrapped up, trying to keep it warm. But with how long of an inning that the Oaks had offensively, the pitcher, he's going to be out of the loop as well. Wiersma, his arm's still going to cool off despite him still having it wrapped up and trying to stay loose. He is still going to be out of whack.
And Wiersma looking to deliver and misses inside on Cowley. It's 8 straight balls and 2 walks for the Saints now after the leadoff man was retired via the ground ball. Bradshaw and Cowley getting to move over a free 90 feet without getting the shoulder moving through the bat.
This is the opportunity for the Saints to make their own rally happen. I mean, they've only been able to score 1 run to start up the ball game, but they're setting the table up for you. Now, do you get your own food? Do you serve yourself here, help yourself out as they are just presenting you these opportunities? Or is this going to be a huge missed opportunity for the Saints?
And Jake McMurray now steps in. A curveball finally finds the zone. After 8 straight balls, Wiersma has found the zone. McMurray now down 0-1 to him. McMurray, ground ball to shortstop, was the only RBI so far today, and he's swinging away at the second pitch. Now down 0-2 to Wiersma after the foul ball. Bradshaw and Cowley reaching on the walk are the runners at second and first respectfully. Wiersma looking to get the second out of the top of the third. Ahead of McMurray now 0-2. That pitch well high above the eyes. And McMurray will watch it go by for ball 1. Seven to 1 here in the top of the third inning. Saints looking to chip away at what they can get. And Wiersma here now with the 1-2. McMurray, a big chopper over to third to Grant Smith. He's going to go to second, and it'll be in time to get Cowley. But that is all they will get. Runners will be at the corners now for Josh Cowden with 2 down.
Got runners at the corners. Still an opportunity presenting itself, having a runner just 90 feet away to be able to come in to score. And you've got a good hitter in Josh Cowden to have an RBI chance.
Josh Cowden walked his last time up, looking to put barrel on the ball here and get the Saints on the board in the top of the third. 7 runs scored in the bottom half of the second for the Oaks, and they currently lead 7-1 here with 2 down in the top of the third. First pitch to Cowden is going to be high and away for ball 1. And like you said, Alex, earlier, just keep chipping away now, and it would be a big spot to get at least one of these runs to come across for the Saints. And Cowden, patient at the plate as always this whole summer, is quickly ahead of Wiersma 2-0.
Can't think of it as a bunch. Have to just take it as 1 run at a time. If you really take it as a bunch, it's going to be a very tough day at the plate.
Good things come to those who wait. 2-0 and a strike delivered to Cowden. Now 2-1. McMurray playing a little bit of games with the catcher Eros. Thought about throwing over, but ends up staying at first. Wiersma looking to get out of the inning after giving up 2 walks with no runs to come across. Cowden looking to find the second run of the game. And that one on the inside corner. And I don't know if Cowden agrees with that one, but it'll be 2-2 nonetheless.
Really has been on a different page than the home plate umpire. That's the second pitch that he is not in agreement with. Just asking the umpire, is that as much inside that you're going to be calling balls and strikes at?
2-2 now the count. Cowden swinging away at a pitch on the inside part of the plate there that time. This time able to get a piece of it and foul it off, and the count will remain 2-2. Bradshaw at third, McMurray at first. 2 down in the top of the third. And the 2-2 pitch from Wiersma. This one low on the inside part of the plate. Full count now to Cowden.
Gotta like this at bat. The fight here from Josh Cowden. This will be pitch number 7 coming up for the starter, Joseph Wiersma.
Good at bat so far from Cowden. Fouled off a few and has watched the pitches come by. And there was a ball in play, it looks like, from the bullpen. And Aaron Milam throwing it all the way back to the pen there. Full count pitch. McMurray's on the run, and it's going to be popped up. It looks like it might get out of play, and it will. Josh Cowden will stay alive after fouling that one over near the third base side.
That was a great toss from Coach Milam. I was in absolute shock about that one. That had some pretty nice distance to it. Hey, wouldn't be surprised if we saw a coach take some grounders or even be back on the field.
Pitching coach at Occidental College as well as the head coach for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Also an electrical engineer, so a man of many trades and talents as well. The UCSB graduate, Aaron Milam. And now the BYU Cougar, his right fielder, is swinging, and it's blown past him. Wiersma able to get out of the inning after allowing 2 walks. No runs will come across to score, and the score will remain 7-1 heading into the bottom half of the third inning here in Thousand Oaks. Dominic Dorado's day is done through 2 innings. It'll be the Azusa Pacific product, the Red Rifle, Corey Shepard, taking the mound for the Saints. He'll be faced with Hunter Call, JT Naviak, and the top of the order, Austin Carrillo, up in the third inning. And 7-1 ball game, couple runners left on in the top of the third for the Saints, unable to capitalize on it. And first pitch swinging. It's the ground ball over to Cowley. Call will be retired on 1 pitch, and Shepard will be happy with that result.
Couldn't be happier with a result like that. 1 pitch, 1 out, especially with the breakout inning that the Conejo Oaks had in the last inning. At this point, you just need to collect outs.
And 1 pitch, 1 out so far for Shepard's day. And now facing JT Naviak. The double his last time up on a ball hit well up in the air that was unable to be found because of the sun in center. And Shepard, attacking the zone early, will find the first pitch in there to Naviak for strike one. Shepard looking to come in to silence the Oaks a little bit, kill their momentum. And Naviak's going to lay down a bunt towards McMurray, and it'll end up foul and be strike two to Naviak.
Already pounding the strike zone here. Another responsibility that Shepard's going to have is try to eat up as many innings as possible, despite another arm for the Saints warming up at the moment. But this could be a bullpen day for the Saints. They have an opener, and they just rely on the pen to get them through.
Couple days off before they will head to Lincoln as well. Everyone's arm should be rested by Wednesday, and that's when it looks like the Saints will be playing. 0-2 count now to Naviak. And Shepard looking to get the second out and as many batters here. From the stretch, the reliever. The pitch, it's going to be a ground ball over to Brandon Boning. He makes the throw on the run. And two batters, two ground outs to the left side. Cowley and Boning both getting involved. And two down here in the bottom of the third.
Now starting to keep the baseball in the ground once again. It was the first inning that was full of baseballs just hit in the ground, but second inning, baseball is a lot more up in the air, up in the sky, and we're getting baseballs now down. Shepard just getting called low strikes and getting the called strikes in his favor, and to get those, to induce ground balls, it's all about throwing the pitches low.
Shepard coming in, getting the first two men he's faced out. And now Austin Carrillo. 2 hits already today for him. Reached in the first on a single and in the second. Has batted each of the first 3 innings so far for the Conejo Oaks. And he takes the first pitch for ball 1. Shepard's going to reset, slow it down a little bit. And it's a shot over to Brandon Boning. And a ground ball that he's going to be unable to handle. It was at a weird spot. Looked like it might be a line drive, but then ends up tailing down. And Carrillo will reach for the 3rd time today.
That baseball just had a funky spin to it. Brandon Boning was ready to be able to get the balance of the baseball, but after all, it's all about staying low as an infielder. Even in baseballs hit like that, you always have to stay low, otherwise a baseball is going to sneak right under your glove.
And that'll bring in the Oregon Duck, Anson Arrows. Going to be a freshman this year, has yet to take college ABs, but has done very well this summer and very well against the Saints. He's going to take the first pitch from Shepard well up and away for ball 1. It'll be an error charge to Boning on the play hit from Carrillo. And Shepard is going to have to work to try to get Arrows now. Arrows puts a shot into a baseball. It's going to be in the gap at least, and it's going to drop in between center and right field. Running on the play was Carrillo, and he'll come all the way around from first and score on the double from Anson Arrows.
So the damage continues. It's another huge inning here for the Conejo Oaks. They just continuously put up runs when needed, and we talked about it earlier. To beat the Saints, you really do have to take advantage of pitches that they are giving up as far as right down the pipe, anything up that they leave. And quite frankly, the Conejo Oaks, they are creating a huge lead to make it very hard for the Saints to come back to this one.
In an inning that started with a lot of promise, getting the first 2 men retired very early after the error by Brandon Boning and then a shot from Anson Arrows. Another run comes across to score for the Oaks. Now 8-1 through 3 innings of work just here. And actually 2 2/3 when you look at it from the Saints pitching staff. Still need to get one more here in the 3rd. And Brendan Bobo now up, taking first pitch and swinging big second one. Count is evened up 1-1.
It was just one pitch that Corey Shepard let loose. It was a pitch way too high, catching too much of the zone, and you have to expect a guy like Arrows to be able to capitalize on that.
Arrows did capitalize, was all over that pitch, tattooed it in between center and right. And now Shepard trying to get Bobo to chase, but fastball well up and away. 2-1 now to the power hitting first baseman. Last at bat, Bobo hit a foul ball, maybe 500 feet. Last time up was a shot.
Not sure if it's landed yet.
It was going. And this time he's underneath it. It's going to be a tough play over there by third. And Cowley thought it was going to go out, and it drops right in front of him. Ball that could have been made for sure, but couldn't find it in the sun. And this Thousand Oaks sun is definitely taking a toll on these Saints now. The second ball that is unable to be come up with because of the sun. It's going to be a strike to Bobo, though, and it's 2-2 now to him.
You can't make that mistake, especially against a hitter like Brandon Bobo. You're giving this guy another life, another opportunity there at the plate. For all we know, he can get an RBI here and even make you pay for it.
2-2 now the count to Bobo. Shepard looking to get out of the inning. Just the one unearned run so far. It's Arrows at second. The pitch to Bobo. It's striked down the right field line, but foul again. Long foul ball and a hard hit one at that. Count will remain 2-2. Corey Shepard out of Azusa Pacific came on late for the Saints. Just been here a few weeks. Came the same day as Rashad Ruff, Jake Cruz as well, and Tommy Castillo, the new guys. That did not start the season with them. Shepard looking to try to get out of this, and he gets Bobo swinging at one in the dirt, and he'll be a strikeout victim, but not after one run comes across the score on the Anson Arrows RBI double. The Oaks improve their lead now to 8-1 as we head into the top of the fourth here in Thousand Oaks. And you're listening to Arroyo Seco Baseball on the Saints Radio Network. The Conejo Oaks extend their lead in the bottom of the third inning. One run coming across for the Oaks. They lead now 8-1. Here heading into the top of the fourth inning, Jag Burden will take his hacks leading off for the Saints here. And Joseph Wiersma still on the mound for the Oaks. His first pitch of the inning, though, bounces into the dirt. And Burden will be ahead of him 1-0. Burden put a shot into a ball into center field last time up, but is called an out in the stat books. His second time now up today against Wiersma. This one's going to be a ground ball. It's going to get past Grant Smith at second base, and it's going to be a single to lead things off for Jag Burden and the Saints.
They're playing a slight shift on Jag Burden. The lefty was able to hit one where initially a straight-up second baseman would play, so sometimes it's always nice to be able to beat out the shift.
And something we haven't seen very often in the CCL is teams putting the shift on, but we've seen it quite a bit so far for the Oaks. And they move back over now with the righty, Bo Willis, stepping in after the leadoff single from Jag Burden. We'll see if he's on the move sometime during this at-bat. And Wiersma had the same thought as me and checks over with Burden at first, but he's in there safely.
Jag Burden up there with a few Saints with 5 stolen bases. To be exact, there are 5 Saints with 5 stolen bags.
Definitely display of team speed right there. And after taking that pitch, Eros throws it over to first. And not going to be in time to get Burden, but it will be a strike to Willis. 0-1 the count. Rather 1-1 the count. It's Bo Willis. And Burden's going to take off. Eros is going to throw it down. It's a good one. And Burden is going to get around the tag. And he'll be safe as the run moves over to second now.
Got a great jump out of that one and slid in the outer half of the base. That's exactly what you got to do there. Make the tag even harder for the middle infielders.
Ball was ruled a strike. Count will be 1-2 now to Bo Willis with the runner at second. Nobody out as Jag Burden leaded things off with a single. And just stealing a base there now for the Saints. And looks like count will be switched up now, 1-1. The scoreboard was wrong. And that was the first pitch just taken there. There was a couple pickoff moves. And everyone lost count there, but we're back on the same page. 1-1 the count to Willis. And just like that, after swinging there and fouling that one off, the count is now 1-2.
Very upset with himself. That was a pitch that he knew that he could have given it a ride.
Just missing that one there over the backstop. 1-2 now the count to Willis. Burden's going to try to steal again. Arrow's going to throw down to third. This one gets away from him, and Burden's going to try to score. He's going to have a play at the plate, but it's not going to be in time. Jag Burden comes around after stealing second and third. A bad throw from Eros gets him to come home, and the Saints make this a 6-run ball game and score their second run of the game. Now trail the Oaks 2-8.
So it is going to be an error. Not entirely sure. I believe it's going to be an E2. Going to credit that one to Arrows on the air, but none other. Jag Burden giving the Oaks a taste of their own medicine, trying to steal third there. Some aggressive base running there. Gotta love it.
And Willis was taken on the stolen base attempt. That was a ball, and then that pitch after there. Now the count 3-1. And that one's going to be just outside, and Bo Willis will reach on the walk.
Getting that run back, making it back into a 6-run deficit here for the Saints. And at this point, any way that you could get the run, try to see if the Oaks can give you some free bases, committing some errors, and try to put the pressure on them. See if they really can hang on to a lead.
And there they start to chip away now after the run they gave up in the bottom half, now making it a 6-run ball game again. And Jag Burden stealing his way around. And then Bo Willis reaching on the walk. And nobody out here still with Brandon Boning as he sends a shot down the left field line, but it tails away foul. And it'll be a long strike one.
Was ahead of that one at least 2-3 seconds. That'd be a nice baseball for him to square up on, just to get that one down the line and reach 325. And I believe that could have even potentially scored Bo Willis.
After the long strike one, he'll foul off his second pitch and be down to Wiersma now 0-2. Boning batting in the 8th spot, Jackson Cobb on deck. And then back to the top of the order for the Saints. In the top of the 4th, 1 run already across. Nobody out. Currently trailing 2-8 in this ball game. 7th spot for the Oaks in the 2nd, and then 1 run for them in the 3rd. Boning still well ahead of it. This one another foul ball. He's right on Wiersma though. His count will remain 0-2.
These foul balls, they are really starting to get a little expensive here for Wiersma. Pitch number 60 right there, and they have definitely been making him work.
Had some command issues last inning as well. Walked 2 men on 8 straight balls. 0-2 the count to Boning, and he remains disciplined. Curveball in the dirt. Nice block from Arrows, but it's ball 1 to Boning. Willis had nowhere to go there. Arrows, very nice to keep that one in front of him. And maintain the force play at second. Brandon Boning now, 1-2 the count to him. Wiersma the pitch from the stretch. It's a curveball. Boning was all over it, but fouls it back again. The 4th foul ball of the AB. Just joining us, Jag Burden coming around to score after getting a leadoff single, then stealing 2nd and 3rd, and a throwing error from Anson Arrows. Was able to come around to score, with Bo Willis just being the 2nd batter of the inning, then walking. And now Brandon Boning, 3rd batter of the inning right now for the Saints, looking to keep this rally going. Taking that one all the way, low and away, evening the count now 2-2.
Been really persistent with those low pitches, seeing if Boning would go after it, but he has been showing some great discipline lately. He has been pretty hard to bring down on strikes and really has been keeping the strike zone to its minimum size.
2-2 from Wiersma. Boning well out in front of the curveball, and it's the first out of the inning for the Oaks and Joseph Wiersma.
Just as I said that, I hope I didn't jinx anything or gave the broadcasters jinx right there to Brandon Boning. Thinking fastball all the way, fired in with the curve, was well in front of it.
And the curveball definitely fooling Boning. Switching up speeds was Wiersma. And it's the first out of the top of the 4th. Now Jackson Cobb coming up to bat with Bo Willis still at first base after the strikeout from Boning. Cobb, a ground out victim his last time up. Takes the first pitch, thought about swinging, but it'll be called strike 1. Cobb batting in that 9 spot most of the season for the Saints and has once in a while flirted with the top of the order on certain players' off days, but has been really comfortable in this 9 spot with one of the best batting averages on the team. Draws a lot of walks as well, too. Gets on base all around.
One of the best batting averages, one of the best on-base percentages. This guy's just a well-balanced player that really can do a lot.
And a ground ball over to Naviak. He's going to look to turn 2 to end the inning. It's 1 at second, but not going to be able to get the speedy Cobb running to first there. It's going to be a fielder's choice. And Jackson Cobb will reach first, but now 2 down here for Tommy Castillo.
There's really not going to be a shot to be able to get Jackson Cobb. He just flies down the line. This is a guy that is very hard to put away, and especially with a baseball that wasn't hit all that hard, really wasn't going to be a chance.
Now back to the top of the order, Tommy Castillo batting for the Saints. 1 for 2 on the ball game. Ground out victim his last time up and reached on an infield single in his first at bat. Jackson Cobb at first. The pitch to Castillo. He's swinging away first pitch. It's in between over a Bermuda Triangle, but Foreman, the right fielder, will call everyone off, and the inning will be over. 1 hit, 1 run in the inning for the Saints, courtesy of Jag Burden. They chip away a little bit and move this lead down to 6. They trail right now in Thousand Oaks 2-8 as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning.
Number 15, Grant Smith.
Saints get one back in the top of the fourth, but they still trail here in Thousand Oaks versus the Conejo Oaks, 2-8. And we'll head into the bottom of the fourth here, leading off for the Oaks. It's going to be the second baseman and cleanup hitter today, Grant Smith, who had an RBI single his last time up. He will lead off the bottom of the fourth here with the pitching change for the Saints. Number 40, former MIT engineer and now Cal Berkeley Bear, Tommy Hannan on the mound. And he starts off Smith with the pitch up and in, and it's ball one. Working quickly is Hannan, evening the count up now 1-1.
I think when Hannan reports to Cal Berkeley in the fall, it's going to be a pretty easy transition for him, especially having a Cal Berkeley teammate with Jack Burden. It's going to be very easy for him to transition onto that new team.
D3 MIT engineer and making the jump to Division I baseball, and he's earned it. Roughed up a little bit in his last outing, but it was his first start of the year. And after the foul ball there, he's quickly ahead 1-2 to Smith. And a curveball freezes him. And it's the first out, and it's a strikeout looking for Tommy Hannan.
Great looking off speed pitch there to put a huge hitter in Grant Smith away. He is just coming in here looking great, feeling confident, and that's, you can always expect that mentality coming out of Tommy Hannan. He is coming in here one of the lowest ERAs on the team. I mean, if you want to add Kyle Sondak or even John Chomko into that equation, he's got one of the lowest ones.
Hannan has been great out of the pen. Tried to have him make a start last time out. Did not go very long. But will come out in relief today. Corey Shepard's day is done. Gave up the one unearned run last inning. And Hannan looking to get the first shutout inning since the first inning. And after taking first pitch, blows that fastball past number 11, TJ Foreman. And the count will be evened up now 1-1.
It's got to be difficult how Tommy Hannan, he just mixes his fastball and his breaking stuff. It's just got to be tough to really square up and time up on it.
And a ground ball there towards Boning. It's going to get past him, and it's going to be a single. No, he's going to try to stretch it into a double, and he will. TJ Foreman, big rounding at first base, And a strong throw from Castillo. It's not going to be in time. We saw Foreman beat out a ground ball to second base his last time up, showing off the wheels there, stretching a single into a double.
As an outfielder, you always got to expect the base runner to try to take an additional bag, and right then and there, TJ Foreman placed that base hit in the right spot, right in left center. Tommy Castillo, he's got an arm over and center. It's going to be pretty risky, but he did it. He tried to show off the arm that time once again, but the wheels of TJ Foreman was able to beat out the throw, and plus the throw was offline.
TJ Foreman getting the double here. He's going to try to steal third right away, too. Bo Willis throw down, and it's not going to be in time. And Willis thought he had him. It was a good throw from the Northwest State catcher, but unable to get the speedy TJ Foreman. And Raul Sandoval took the first pitch for ball one.
Just the jump that TJ Foreman got was an amazing jump, but also not to mention the throw that Willis put up as well. That throw was on the money. It's just the jump that beat you.
And after the stolen base from Foreman, taking all the way was the man who started the scoring off today, Raul Sandoval. Now ahead of Tommy Hannan 2-0, but the big two-run home run was the first runs of the game for the Oaks. An opposite field shot over the right fielder's head, Josh Cowden, as he watched that one go by. And taking that last pitch there, now finds himself ahead of Hannan 3-0. And Hannan loses him on 4 pitches. Sandoval will reach for the third time today now.
This was an inning that was starting very promising for Tommy Hannan, getting that K with the filthy curve that he has going on, and now he has run into some troubles in the bottom of the 4th inning. Runners at the corners with only 1 out. Not the end of the world, could get out of it with the ground ball, but with how the Oaks have been swinging the bat today, it has been dangerous.
And runner's going to go off there. This one hit into left field. Jag Burton going to get underneath it, and they're going to try to score on the play. It's going to be thrown all the way to home, but he's called safe. Foreman not sliding. It's going to be a sacrifice fly for the man we couldn't even introduce, Greg Melhath. And another run now, 3 innings in a row the Oaks have scored, and they extend their lead now 9-2.
Getting that run that the Saints scored, making it back to a 7-run lead here for the Oaks. And just anytime the Saints, they have some sort of hope, some positivity moving forward, scoring a run and closing that deficit, here come the Oaks really just trying to crush the spirits of the Saints.
2 down now in the inning, and running again is the Oaks, and this time it's going to be in time. They will get Raul Sandoval. Bo Willis delivers a strike to second base, and the inning is over, but not before 1 run comes across for the Conejo Oaks. They extend their lead now 9-2, heading into the top of the 5th inning. One run coming across for the Conejo Oaks in the bottom of the fourth inning. They lead your Arroyo Seco Saints 9-2 here in the top of the fifth. Joseph Wiersma out for his fifth inning of work to face Connor Bradshaw for the third time today. Currently sitting 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. And swinging big on the first pitch off speed from Wiersma. He'll be down 0-1 to him. Wiersma now setting up to deliver the next pitch to Bradshaw. This time he's taking, and it's going to hit the zone on the low and outside corner, and he's quickly down 0-2 to Wiersma.
Wiersma's got to go after these Saints hitters. He is feeling so good about himself right now, especially with 9 runs his offense giving him. 7 runs if you want to add the difference between the 9-2 ball game, but as a pitcher, to have that much run support, that's got to really get you through your day much easier.
Especially a 7 spot in the second inning. You can really settle in now and let it rip. You got some cushioning behind you. That ball was in the dirt, though. And Bradshaw now trying to fight back. 1-2 the count to him. The leadoff man here in the fifth inning. Batting second today as Wiersma spikes another one into the dirt, evening the count now 2-2. Bradshaw looking for his first hit of the afternoon and trying to help chip away at this lead that the Oaks have compiled. 2-2 the count. It's going to be a curveball in the dirt, and it's going to be an easy throw from Eros over to Bobo, and that's one gone here in the top of the fifth.
Connor Bradshaw has not been seeing the baseball very well. He looked like he just guessed on a pitch like that, just kind of with a protective swing. Not the greatest swings that we've seen this year by Connor Bradshaw. It's a difference between seeing the baseball as a cannonball and seeing a baseball as a golf ball. And right now he is seeing the baseball as a golf ball.
His second strikeout so far today, Bradshaw. Now Drew Cowley stepping in, who's reached base both times today with a hit, single the other way, and a walk as well. And first pitch from Wiersma was a ball, and Cowley hits that one well the other way. In the gap, in left and center. It's going to be cut off nicely by Hunter Call, and it will be Cowley's second single of the ball game.
At this point, there's nothing really out of the ordinary here for Drew Cowley. This guy, if he's not getting a base hit, he'll get you 2 base hits. Very rarely will you see him go 0 for in a ball game. We've seen a few, very few handful of games that Cowley goes 0 for, but very frankly, he has been just seeing the baseball well throughout the whole entire year. And if you look at his stat lines across the season, he has really been having his fair share of 2-hit games.
Jake McMurray now to step in. That one high and inside, but swinging at it, fouling it off. He'll be down 0-1 to Wiersma. And you bring up Drew Cowley. In all but one game that he has started this year, he has gotten a hit. Just one 0 for 4 performance. And the rest of the games he didn't catch a base hit were all pinch hit appearances. 0 for 1 in those games, but just recently catching his first 0 for 4 ball game. Other than that, if he's gotten more than one AB, he virtually guaranteed a hit this season, this summer. And it's been a great summer for Drew Cowley. And he's going to look to have that translate into the fall and into next spring. As that one's fired back to Wiersma, he's going to throw over to second for 1 and over to first, and it's a double play that'll end the inning. Wiersma showing off the cat-like reflexes, firing it over to second for the first out as they throw it to first for the double play that will end the top of the fifth. One hit for the Saints in the inning. No runs will come across. They remain down 2-9 as we head to the bottom of the fifth inning here in Thousand Oaks. one hit in the top of the inning, but a double play on Hunter and Carrillo for the first call. Following that one, drops back. The Oaks get another run to come across in the inning and extend their lead now 10-2 here in the top of the 6th inning. Joseph Wiersma's day is done, and Eric Ma will come in for relief for the Conejo Oaks, and he'll be faced with the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Josh Cowden, Jag Burden, and Bo Willis here in the top of the 6th inning. And the first pitch from Ma to Cowden is going to find the zone, and it'll be strike one to the BYU Cougar. Working fast is Ma. He'll deliver another pitch to Cowden, and he's swinging this time, and he's behind Ma 0-2. Swinging now is Cowden. Ball ends up in right field. It's going to be Foreman underneath it, and he will retire Cowden for the first out of the inning here in the top of the 6th.
Pretty quiet day at the plate for Josh Cowden. Haven't seen too much action from him despite his first at-bat, getting on with a 2-out walk. Ever since then, he's 0-2 with a K and a flyout. Really on Josh Cowden-like numbers.
And now Jag Burden stepping in, picking up a hit his last time, stealing 2 bases and getting a throwing error from Anson Eros, that third base that made him come around to score. And he took the first pitch. Ma working quick, swinging is Burden, and fouling off the second one. He's quickly down 0-2 to Eric Ma.
Burden really did carry the team to be able to get that second run, to steal second, then to steal third. And with the throwing error from Anson Eros, was able to come into scores. So haven't had too much to be excited about if you're the Saints.
1-2 the count now. Burden swinging at the fourth pitch of the AB, and it's going to get foul. And no play for Hunter Call, who's playing in a little bit of a defensive shift in left field, more shifted towards the gap. Burden now down 1-2 to Ma, looking to find his second hit of the ball game. Ma from the windup. And Burden's going to foul him off again and stay alive, as the count will remain 1-2. Ma looking to get the second out after getting Cowden to fly out to right. And Burden continuing to stay alive, fouling off another pitch. And the count remains 1-2.
Things are going to get very interesting here for the Saints. The next arm that could potentially be lined up to come into the bottom of the 6th inning, it looked like it could be Daniel Richardson.
And a curveball there, hangs for a bit, but Burden unable to find it. And it'll be the second out after the strikeout. And Eric Ma goes 1-2 to the first 2 batters.
That's just the storyline of the game. It's been the pitching for the Conejo Oaks that have the Saints numbered today. They have just been keeping them very quiet throughout this ball game.
Bo Willis now stepping in for his third time. And good curveball from Ma. Willis, though, on the look down, able to hold up. And he'll be ahead of Ma 1-0. And Willis currently sitting 0 for 1, flying out to right field and walking last time up. Ma quickly evens the count up on the outside corner. It's now 1-1 to Willis.
He's not getting it done offensively, but his arm definitely has been getting him through behind the plate. He has been throwing out guys. He's already thrown out a pair of runners on the base path, but there has been quite a few that have been stealing bags against him, and that's how the Conejo Oaks really have been able to stack up some runs.
Swinging away at the last two pitches and fouling that one off right near us. And the count is 1-2 to Bo Willis. 2 down here in the top of the 6th. Saints trail the Oaks 2-10. Eric Ma on the mound, spiking one into Anson Eros. And Willis now evening the count up at 2s. It was a 7 spot so far in the second inning. And that's how we've gotten to here, 10-2 in the top of the 6th. As a curveball comes across the plate, and Willis pops it up to right field. It's going to be TJ Foreman, the man who got the first out of the inning, getting the third out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors in the top of the 6th inning. We head to the bottom of the 6th, Saints trailing 2-10 in Thousand Oaks. You're listening to Arroyo Seco Baseball on the Saints Radio Network. We head to the bottom of the 6th at Cal Lutheran University here in Thousand Oaks, California. At Sparky Anderson Field, Daniel Richardson will come in for the bottom of the 6th inning, the flame-throwing right-handed pitcher out of San Diego State. And he'll be faced with taking on Grant Smith here, the 4-hitter and second baseman for the Oaks. And first pitch from Richardson is in the dirt, and it'll be ball 1 to Smith.
It's already the 5th arm that the Saints are using. And, of course, like we talked about, it was going to be a bullpen day when we saw Dom Dorado opening up this ball game. Going to just try to get as many innings as possible from the pen and just try to get through this ball game.
Ball misses high to Smith. 2-0 now the count. Richardson's first batter. This one, Smith catches up to it and fouls it off backwards. It'll be 2-1 now to Grant Smith. And Richardson just recently learned when recruited to play college ball, was recruited as a catcher. Moved over to the pitching spot after seeing how strong his arm really is. As that one misses just outside, it's 3-1 now to Smith.
Sometimes we hear about these stories about seeing catchers with tremendous arms behind the plate, but unfortunately can't get it done with the stick. Sometimes these coaches take a chance of, hey, go on the mound, throw a couple pitches. Let me see just how hard you can throw with a fastball.
And that fastball there, showing off how hard he can throw. Guy who can sit in the mid-90s and rip it in there. And the 3-1 pitch was blown past Grant Smith. And now the count full. Richardson from the stretch. See what he can do with Smith. That fastball again blown right past him. And it's the first out of the bottom of the 6th inning.
And that's a really good fastball that we were talking about it before we jumped onto this inning. That he's got great velocity, has been struggling with locating that fastball. But if he could take off a couple miles per hour and sacrifice some velocity for location, these Conejo Oaks hitters will definitely try to accept that challenge, but more than likely aren't going to be able to touch the fastball.
And Richardson not only having a fastball, showing the breaking ball there to Foreman, and it misses low and away for ball 1. TJ Foreman 3 for 3 on the day right now. 2 singles and a double. As he's on Richardson there, fouling him off. Straight back, evening the count now, 1-1. It's another leadoff strikeout for the relief man. We've seen that in innings previous, but Oaks have still come around to score in each of the last 4 innings. Richardson trying to eliminate the pattern and get to the dugout with no runs coming across. And that pitch missed low and outside. 2-1 now the count. Richardson looking to reset, even this thing up. And it's a fastball near the hands of Foreman. He'll get out of the way of it. It's 3-1 to Foreman.
The last 3 innings have been very promising starts for the Saints relievers, striking out these leadoff hitters, but right after that, they just fall off. They just go on a decline and just kind of lose their mechanics, lose their focus on the strike zone, and that's when the Oaks are able to get on with a walk, or they just are able to square up on one.
And Richardson looking to battle back again for the second straight AB. That one fouled off by Foreman. Now the count full. 3-2 from the stretch. Richardson. It's a curveball. Trusted the breaking ball, but it's in the dirt. And Foreman lays off of it, and he's on for the 4th time today with a walk.
Well, it's been deja vu all over again. Like I mentioned before, 3 straight innings of leadoff strikeouts, but then the Oaks finding ways on, whether it's with a base hit or they get on with a walk.
And now that's going to be Raul Sandoval coming in to bat for the Oaks. Started the game off with the 2-run shot in the 2nd inning, and those were the first 2 runs of the game for the Oaks. They took the lead in the 2nd and have not given it back yet. 7 runs in the 2nd inning, and now currently sitting with a 10-2 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Takes first pitch ball, takes again. Now ahead of Richardson, 2-0. So far in the game, 5 walks for Saints pitchers as that one snuck in and hit Sandoval, it looks like. And that's as well the second hits batsman we've seen for the Saints. That's 7 runners reaching via free passes.
Way too many free passes here for the pitching for the Saints. It'll be definitely be a concern going into next week. You cannot be giving any free passes, if you ask me, especially being the playoffs and the playoff scene, I should say. And you definitely know that's just a whole different species of baseball when it comes to the postseason.
Pitching wins in the postseason. We all know that as well. Gonna have to figure it out. This is the season finale of regular season play. Saints have clinched their playoff spot. Oaks looking to improve their chances with a win today. Gonna have to keep a close eye on the Orange County Riptide and Santa Barbara Foresters matchup as well for the Oaks. But doing their part now, leading the Saints 10-2 in the 6th inning. Looking good to get their shot to punch their ticket to Lincoln. As Richardson started him off with a curveball and ahead 0-1 to Greg Melhoff. And after swinging at the second pitch, he fouls that one away, and now Richardson's ahead 0-2.
It's going to be a long day in the ballpark for the Oaks because it's a 4:30 first pitch time over in Irvine for Santa Barbara against Orange County, and they're going to be waiting for that result like a hawk.
Just about an hour away from that first pitch. And the delivery from Richardson. It's another pitch that probably would have been in the zone, fought off by Melhoff. And count remains 0-2.
Starting to catch up to Richardson's fastball. Going to have to try to rethink the strategy, how to go against the Conejo Oaks hitters.
0-2 the count to Melhoff. And the pitch from Richardson, it's the curveball. And it's going to be strike 3 and the second out of the inning in the second curveball strikeout for Richardson.
Likes to go with that 1-2 punch of the fastball, then with the curve. It's got to just imagine the RPM that the baseball is spinning at. Comes with the fastball with some high velocity. Then you see the curveball, just how much that baseball spins and the amount of movement that it's got to have. And it's got to be tough for the Oaks hitters to even be able to get to hit Daniel Richardson.
We know what his fastball can carry. When the curveball is on, Richardson looks great as well. And starting off Hunter Call with that fastball and finds the zone. 0-1 now to Hunter Call. Hitless so far today, but did reach on a fielder's choice and score in that second inning. And curveball spiked in the dirt in front of Willis there. Richardson now evens the count with Call, 1-1. Runners at second and first are Foreman and Sandoval, reaching via the walk and the hits batsman. No hits so far in the innings for the Oaks. And Richardson firing that one low and away. It'll be 2-1 now to Hunter Call. Would be the first inning since the first inning to not have a run come across for the Oaks. Should Richardson be able to get out of this one. And finding the inside part of the plate, working well, evening the count back up now, 2-2.
Would be a huge inning if they can keep the Oaks quiet. Last 4, there's been a run that's come in to score.
2-2 now to Call. Richardson from the stretch, 2 runners on, the pitch. It's going to be a shot up the middle, and it's going to drop in center field. Castillo is going to have to make a throw over to third, and 1 run does come across to score, and another runner moving from first to third. It's an RBI single from Hunter Call that brings in TJ Foreman and moves Sandoval over from first to third.
The shortstop, number 3.
They're playing just like as if it were the postseason. They are just executing well. They are getting timely hits. They're squaring up on the baseball. They are making hard contact, and they are just continuously stacking up runs today.
Now the 5th straight inning that the Oaks have scored in. 11-2 ball game. And Richardson's looking to get JT Naviak retired and end this inning. And the first pitch strike is a good start, 0-1 to Naviak. Richardson with runners at the corners now. Delivering to Naviak. Curveball drops, starts in the zone, drops out. And it's evened up now, 1-1. Like you said, Alex, 5th pitcher the Saints have used in 6 innings so far. Dorado goes 2. Shepard comes in for 1, as well as Hannan and Yu for 1 each. And now Richardson looking to get through his first inning of work. 2-2 the count. 2-1 the count, rather, to Naviak. And that one, a little bit of chin music, will wake Naviak up at the plate. 3-1 now. Now the 3-1 pitch from Richardson is going to bounce in the dirt. And JT Naviak will reach on his 2nd walk in a row, and the bases will be loaded for the top of the order.
Now batting, the
Another rough inning here for the relievers, for the Saints. Just got to get back into the strike zone, just continue to locate. Can't leave anything at the heart of the plate. And just try to find the zone here. Try to get out of this inning and just keep it to a minimal 1 run of damage.
And Austin Carrillo has been a tough out for the Saints today, has reached all 4 times. 2 hits, reaching on an error, and walking his last time up, taking the first pitch for ball 1 ahead of Richardson 1-0, and each of his last 3 has come around to score for the Oaks. The 1-0 pitch from Richardson misses again, up and away. Willis able to keep it in front of him. 2-0 now to Carrillo.
Looks like the next pitcher that could be lined up for the Saints, Diego Avila.
Would be the 6th pitcher used for the Saints today. 2-0 pitch to Carrillo. This time takes a little bit off of it and finds the zone. Now 2-1. Bases loaded here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 run already across. Score currently sits the Saints 2, Oaks 11. 2-1 pitch, bounce in the dirt, able to be corralled by Bo Willis. Saves a run from coming across, but the count is now 3-1 to Austin Carrillo.
He's been busy behind the plate. A lot of blocking of pitches, a lot of throwdowns over to second. This has probably been the most busy he's been throughout the season.
3-1 pitch from Richardson. It's a fastball blown past Carrillo. And now fighting back to the full count.
That was a pitch that was looking like ball 4 right there for Carrillo.
Runners should be on the move here with the bases loaded and the full count with 2 outs. Richardson looking to get out of the inning, just allowing the 1 run. And the pitch. Runners do take off, and it plunks them. And Carrillo is going to get first base via the hit by pitch.
That's a mental error there for Daniel Richardson. Once again, just having such a promising start to innings, but just making many mistakes on the mound, allowing guys to get on with 1 out, as far as allowing guys to get on with walks, and just making it very difficult for the Saints pitching.
Count was full, and Richardson ends up hitting Carrillo. That is the third different way he has reached base, rather the fourth. A hit, a walk, a hit by pitch, and an error, all today in 5 ABs for Carrillo, as Ansoneros now steps in with the bases loaded and 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. 2 runs already coming across, and taking the first pitch up and away. 1-0 now to Ansoneros. Score 10-run differential now, 2-12, as that one skips away, and the run's going to try to come home. Willis is going to throw over to Richardson, and it's not going to be in time. And Hunter Call comes in to score for the Oaks. And just as I said, it was a 10-run differential. It now becomes 11 with that one. 2-13 now in favor of the Oaks.
Safe to say that if they do make it to the playoffs, they are in their playoff form already.
Big game to have when they needed to. Needed to win today to have a shot to make the playoffs still. And Arrow's going to deliver a shot, but it's going to be foul. And that one sounded like he broke his bat there. And indeed he did. He'll need a new one. And the count will be 2-1 when he comes back up.
Speaking of breaking bats, we had the opportunity to take some BP with the team earlier today, and our colleague, Lucas Banks, broke a bat during the BP.
Yeah, there was a couple of us out there, and Big Al. Oh, did you play in high school? Because it showed there. Had a couple of nice hacks out there.
I did play in baseball. I played at Gar High School for, if there's any gladiators out there, go Gladiators. And was fortunate enough to play in high school, and I also played a little bit of college ball as well.
Well, I got a chance to go out there, and you can tell I hadn't played since 7th grade. Might have been the first time I'd taken live BP, but I'm sure 10 more pitches, we would have seen one over the 325 sign in left field. Give me a couple more out there. Now 2-1 to Arrows. He's swinging there, and they're calling this one a foul ball as the ball ends up near Jackson Cobb. And now evening the count up 2-2 is Richardson. But going back to that, yeah, he had a nice level swing. Had a couple of good rippers into the outfield. Probably looked the best out of any of the interns out there. And really putting on a show in our last time out here in Thousand Oaks.
Hey, man, I think they give you another 10 pitches. I think you'd be driving them at least 325 right over there over in left.
Just got to choke up a little bit on it.
I think that's what it was. And then plus, pitching coach was tossing you some good heat, and he even threw you some breaking balls as well. And you were, hey, give me something to hit, yeah?
I knew we were going to see a slider from Stone out there. I knew I was. I earned that this year, though. And after taking there, Ansoneros now sits at a full count from Richardson. The pitch, it's going to be a fastball that Arrows will catch up to, and will foul it off out of play. It is the finale to the regular season here in Thousand Oaks. Last game for the Saints of the regular season, and maybe both these teams will be playoff teams by the end of the day. Conejo Oaks needed a win to have a chance. Now they have to wait for the Orange County Riptide to play the Santa Barbara Foresters to decide their fate. And the pitch from Richardson again is fouled off by Arrows, and the count will remain full.
We should be hearing the release of the brackets maybe even tonight or even tomorrow, and we'll hear about as far as the seeding is concerned. We'll hear as far as who's playing who, maybe in the next coming of days.
Playoffs will begin on Wednesday in Lincoln, California. Road to a championship will begin there. It will be a 3-day week for them, as Arrows is going to get that one squared up, but not very far. And it's a fly ball to Brandon Boning to end the inning. But 3 runs come across in the bottom of the 6th inning, and the Oaks continue to add to their lead. They head to the top of the 7th, leading the Arroyo Seco Saints 13-2. You're listening to Arroyo Seco Baseball on the Saints Radio Network. Top of the 7th inning now here in the Thousand Oaks, California. And Brandon Boning to lead things off against Eric Ma out for his 2nd inning of work. And taking the first pitch for a ball, Ma working quickly and missing high again there. Now behind on Boning, 2-0. Boning puts a nice piece on one there, and it gets down the line for a fair ball. He's thinking 2 all the way, and he'll end up at second base with a leadoff stand-up double now down the third baseline past Greg Melhoff.
Brandon Boning, just his stick waking up at the perfect time. He has been coming up with some slugging and just coming up with some extra bases as far as doubles are concerned. Right now, Brandon Boning standing with 11 doubles now.
Just trailing Drew Cowley for the Saints now. It's been a great resurgence at the end of the year here for Brandon Boning. And now Jackson Cobb will come in, and he's going to try to lay down a bunt to maybe move Boning over, and fouls that one straight back, 0-1. And right now, we'll see if he gets that sign again, but not sure what the bunt would accomplish later on in this ball game. Need hits anyway, need base runners. Don't want to give up the outs for it, and now he's swinging. Maybe just trying to catch third baseman Melhoff off guard, but now down 0-2 to Ma.
Cobb does have an infield single, just the way that he was trying to get that bunt down, trying to get something down the third base line.
See what he does here on the 0-2. He's watching that one all the way and just missing low and inside. It'll be 1-2 now to Jackson Cobb. Boning stands on second base, the leadoff double off Eric Ma. And Saints need all the runs they can get, as Jackson Cobb comes up swinging and comes up missing on the Eric Ma off speed. It's a strikeout for Ma, and the first out of the top of the 7th inning.
Jackson Cobb doesn't go down on strikes very often, but when he does, it has to be on a great off-speed pitch.
Big swing from Cobb there, unable to make connection with it. Brandon Boning still remains at second now. One down, back to the top of the order, and Tommy Castillo to take his first hacks against Eric Ma. And he's swinging, following it straight back near us, and the count will be 0-1. Eric Ma definitely slowing his pace up after giving up the leadoff double. Now the second pitch to Castillo. It's going to be a ground ball near third, and Melhoff's going to deliver a throw over to Bobo, who's going to go back to second, and Boning was not picked off, but they will get the out at one. And Brandon Boning a little slow to get up. Let's see if he was just a little scared out there with the jitters. And looks like he'll be okay.
Was trying to see if he can take an additional bag and most importantly see if Melhoff will be able to field that one cleanly. Melhoff did do the right thing though, took a step back as a third baseman and a first baseman. You can have that privilege of stepping back and just getting that candy hop and the strong throw across the diamond, seeing if Boney can potentially take third.
Well, Brandon Boning started things off with a leadoff double, then a strikeout from Cobb and a ground ball to third from Castillo has left him there stranded right now, but Connor Bradshaw now stepping in for his fourth time today, currently sits 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts and a walk, and taking the first pitch for ball one against Eric Ma. And that pitch high and away in the zone. Bradshaw able to get a piece of it, following it back, and evening this count now 1-1 against Ma.
This is going to be a guy that's going to have a lot of fun going back to Pepperdine and reporting his numbers to his head coach. Pepperdine, they are a team that will have a very successful future with Connor Bradshaw.
As Bradshaw rips that ball into left field, but should be an easy play out there for call, and it is. And it's the third out of the top of the seventh. A leadoff double for Brandon Boning becomes stranded after the next three are retired by Eric Ma. No runs, one hit, no errors in the inning as we head to the bottom of the seventh. It's stretch time here in Thousand Oaks with the Saints trailing 2-13.
The first baseman, number 5, Brandon Bobo.
Seventh inning stretch time here in Thousand Oaks. Bottom of the seventh inning for Conejo Oaks as Brendan Bobo will start things off here, taking on the sixth pitcher so far for the Saints. Number 14 out of Claremont McKenna College, Diego Avila. Stepping in now in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch to Bobo. He fires in low and away for ball 1. Working quick, Bobo sending a shot into that baseball, and it's not coming back. He knew it when he swung, and it's a home run for Brendan Bobo.
That baseball was screaming on its way out of here. That's the second long ball that we see in this ball game, and Brendan Bobo, just like Tommy said early on in the broadcast, this is one of the most exciting guys to watch here in the CCL, and that's exactly why. He's got the power to be able to have a swing like that.
A ball that was sent out of here in a hurry for Bobo over the 370 sign in right center field, and he makes this one 14-2. Just 4 hits for the Saints while 13 have come across for the Oaks. Now Grant Smith will step in as Avila knocks that one down off the mound, and he'll be able to retire Smith. But a hot shot from Smith will be the first out of the inning.
And you can see Avila trying to just walk it off. It's that right leg, and you can see that coach is going to call time, check up on Avila. That was a ground ball straight to his right foot. He's just kicking it up right now. See if he can still deliver, hoping that it's not going to mess with his mechanics and he can still be able to play. And he's, most importantly, okay.
One of the scariest parts about playing pitcher is those back shots that you might get from the batter. And Avila taking that one off the leg. Pitching coach Matt Stone will come out, make sure he's okay, and showing him where he got hit. But great effort from Avila to come back and make the play on that one to retire Grant Smith. And we'll see if they give him a couple practice pitches just to make sure everything's okay. And they will indeed. We'll see what first one's looking like. Seems to find the zone pretty easily. And let's hope he's okay now.
Looks like it just took one.
And he'll be back in, ready to go. And one run already coming across in the inning. A leadoff home run from Brendan Bobo, the second long ball we saw today. First one coming from Raul Sandoval in the second inning of work. But Grant Smith retired on the ground ball. Back to Avila that hit off of him. He'll come back now, set in after being cleared and okay to go to face TJ Foreman. And first pitch to Foreman misses inside, and he'll be behind early on Foreman, 1-0.
By the looks of it, that solo home run by Brendan Bobo making some fans over on right center field, right over the wall. I know you could see them right there, Tommy. They were pretty happy getting a home run ball hit their way.
And easily making it to him as well. As Avila is going to make a nice play off the mound there and deliver it over to first to McMurray for the second out of the inning now.
He's definitely all right after making a leaping grab like that and still being able to pitch and coming up with a throw over to first. He is definitely okay.
And first time that they're able to get TJ Foreman retired as well was sitting 3 for 3 with a walk up until that point. And it took his 5th plate appearance to get him out for the first time. But the other man who's hit a home run today now, Raul Sandoval, stepping in. Sitting 2 for 2 currently with 3 RBIs as he hits a shot into left field. And we'll see if the wind helps that one stay in. It's Burden making a grab at the warning track. And a good gust of wind maybe saving that one from leaving right there. It's going to be 1 run, 1 hit, no errors in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Oaks. A home run by Brendan Bobo is able to add to their lead. We head to the top of the 8th inning. The Saints currently trailing in Thousand Oaks 14-2.
head to the top of the 8th in Thousand Oaks, California at Cal Lutheran University, where the Saints currently trail the Conejo Oaks 2-14. It has not been the Saints' day on the mound or at the plate. Drew Cowley taking the first pitch from new pitcher Aiden Garza for strike one. Eric Mazday will be over. And now Cowley sees that pitch go by on the outside corner. Did not like the call from home plate umpire, but needless to say, he's down 0-2. And there's some chirping, it seems like, from the dugouts here. And seems to be writing a note on that one is home plate umpire. We'll see what he wrote down on the notepad there. Maybe someone's number was chirping at him.
Very interesting. Never really seen an umpire do that.
And looks like it was Jake McMurray he was yelling at there. And now the count 1-2 after the take there from Cowley.
Gotta like the fight and that mentality that Jake McMurray has. He is willing to go and stand up, fight for his teammates. He's always standing up for any of his guys, especially the last time that he was here. He hit an RBI single up the middle with authority, and he had a couple of things to say to the Conejo Oaks dugout. But like we said, this is a guy that will defend anybody on his team.
Great team guy for the culture, Jake McMurray out of Oral Roberts. And Drew Cowley has battled back now after being down 0-2, has worked this to a full count. And rips that one into the gap between center and right, and it will get to the right fielder, Foreman. He'll cut it off, and it's Drew Cowley's third hit of the ball game, and he has 3 of the 5 hits so far for the Saints.
Now batting, the first
That's
baseman, number 2.
still common to see out of Drew Cowley. He still has had his fair share of 3-hit days.
Yet to be retired today. 3 for 3 with a walk in there, but not much to come from it. All singles, not coming around to score. No RBIs for him, but doing his part, getting on base, and has been ripping baseballs that this outfield has been covering very well and cutting them off. A couple of them maybe could have been doubles had they taken a bad angle at the ball, as McMurray's going to step in against Garza and takes that one inside for ball 1.
Really no need to risk anything as far as look at the score, 14-2. No need to risk trying to take any extra bases. The ball game's not close, unfortunately. Don't want to risk any injuries going into the postseason.
McMurray hits that one over to right field. Looks like it's tailing foul, and it'll be caught in the bullpen, and it will be a foul ball. 1-1 now, the count to Jake McMurray.
Fortunate enough, it was caught, but it's not going to be an out.
That would be something if the bullpen could register outs if they catch the ball for you there, but
that'd be interesting.
not how it works. And a throw over to Arrows at first. Bobo just had to get in front of it after McMurray was swinging and missed. Arrows fires over to Bobo to try to get Cowley leading off, and it will not work. The count will be 1-2 now to Jake McMurray.
And that's exactly why we see first basemen become catchers as well, just the way Bobo was able to smother it.
And McMurray well out in front of the curveball, and he'll be retired on strikes. And one down here in the top of the 8th, and just 5 outs remaining for the Saints in their push down 12.
Maybe not the way you want to close out your regular season. Should have at least expected maybe a closer ball game here from the Saints to be able to finish up the year and go into the postseason with somewhat of a positive momentum moving forward.
Not a day that they're going to want to remember when they head to Lincoln. Josh Cowden now stepping in, looking for his first hit of the ball game against Garza. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. Garza working again, and Cowley's going to rip this one up the middle. They had a shift on for him, and if you're playing double play defense, you probably get it. But the shift was on, and it goes past Grant Smith
It's going to be a single for Josh Cowden up the middle.
Didn't do too much with it, and that's the good thing about it. It was just trying to put the ball in play, just try to find the hole somewhere in the defense, and quite frankly, the defense just did it themselves. They were playing a shift and was able to find it in no man's land.
Second hit of the inning for the Saints. Now Jag Burden taking his hacks against Garza, and watching the first pitch come in for a strike, and we'll be down 0-1 to Aiden Garza. Drew Colley started things off with a leadoff single, and strikeout for Jake McMurray, and then Cowden comes back with a single of his own. And after taking the first two pitches, counts even 1-1. Jag Burden with 2 men on and 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. Delivery from Garza. Burden well out in front of the curveball. He'll now be behind 1-2.
Has some late break into it. Looked like a pitch that was going to squeeze into the low and inside part of the plate, but the final moments had enough spin to be able to break into the dirt.
1-2 now, the count to Jag Burden. The UC Berkeley Golden Bear come the fall again. Breaking ball will skip away from Eros, but runners will stay put. Evening the count now, 2-2 to Jag Burden.
Part of such a strong Pac-12 conference in baseball when you have teams like UCLA, U of A, San Diego, or excuse me, Arizona State, pardon me. Imagine being a part of a conference like that. A UCLA program that usually will be top 5 this past year wasn't exactly what they had in mind, not being ranked as high. But then you also have U of A and Arizona State in there.
Oregon as well playing in a regional game. Count now full after the take from Burden, and he fouls that one off. Very competitive baseball conference, the Pac-12, and California in general. A lot of great baseball programs, not just in the Pac-12, but you have UC Irvine, San Diego as well, putting up very productive teams. We've seen Cal State Fullerton make it deep into runs. It's great baseball no matter where you go around the state. And Berkeley for Burden as he rips that one back up the middle, and it's going to drop over there. And the runners will advance. Drops in front of Sandoval for Jag Burden's second hit of the ball game.
First time that the Saints will have the bases loaded. An opportunity for Bo Willis to get a base hit here and at least try to turn things around as far as his own numbers are concerned, and at least try to cash in some runs. It's been quite some time since we've seen the Saints score a run, since that run that was scored by Jag Burden.
Just one down in the inning. Bases now loaded for the man they call Bo Willis. Stepping in to take his shot up against Garza. And ball game well out of hand right now. 5 outs remain for the Saints here. 1 down in the top of the 8th. Down by 12 as that one is going to be a ground ball over to Naviak. He's going to flip to Smith. Over to Bobo at first. And the bases loaded will result in no runs. 3 hits in the inning for the Saints. A single from Cowley, Cowden, and Burden. No one comes across to score. We head into the bottom of the 8th inning. Saints trail the Oaks 14-2. You're listening to Arroyo Seco Baseball on the Saints Radio Network.
in the bottom of the 8th inning here at Cal Lutheran University. The Conejo Oaks taking on the Arroyo Seco Saints, and the Oaks looking to take their last hacks of the ball game right now. A convincing lead, 14-2 over the Arroyo Seco Saints right now. And the new pitcher again for the Saints is Eric Navarrete, looking to get the last 3 outs of the game for the Saints before they come in to try to mount an insurmountable comeback, you would think, as the first pitch from Navarrete is bounced into the zone for ball 1. Navarrete, another one of the new pitchers that were on the roster later on in the season. Came just before Corey Shepard, who we saw today, and Rashad Ruff. And has been middle of the road for him, and a bullpen arm they can definitely rely on to at least come in and throw strikes. 1-1 the count currently. After that one, it's now 1-2 to the batter, Greg Melhaff.
Playing some NAIA baseball from Mid-America Nazarene University, and they used him as a closer. Has some saves under his belt with them.
Navarrete's all been in relief this summer so far from the Saints. We've seen some bullpen arms move to the starting position, not Navarrete, as that one there is hit weakly to left. It should be Burden, and it is for the first out as Navarrete retires the leadoff man, Melhaff, for out 1 in the bottom of the 8th.
Interesting observation, as that one was hit up, you can really see how much the wind has played a factor, and as far as balls hit over to left, you can see it while it's up in the air. You can just see the baseball just tail towards center field, and just how much the wind has carried any baseballs that have been hit to right.
Read beautifully by Jag Burden. It's the first out as that one comes in to scare Hunter Call, ducking out of the way of that fastball. And it's going to be ball 1 to Call. Call picked up his first hit his last time up, an RBI single. Navarrete looking to retire Call for his 3rd time today. Reached on a fielder's choice as well in that big 2nd inning for the Oaks. And 1-1 the count now to Navarrete, who works again and fires another pitch in there low and away for strike 2.
Eric Navarrete made his debut as a Saint against the Conejo Oaks. Went an inning of work, no Ks, a walk, a hit, and no earned runs. A pretty solid relief appearance against the Oaks.
That one rides inside, and it will be a ball, evening the count 2-2. And no runs would be, for lack of an understatement, great, as that one's going to swing away but get away from Bo Willis, and the strikeout will be charged to Navarrete, but the run will cross, and he'll get to first base after the pass ball drop, 3rd strike.
Just a tough break there. It just describes the type of afternoon Bo Willis has had throughout this afternoon. Just hasn't been able to control those breaking balls and those put away pitches to be able to throw the 2-3 put out to get the Ks throughout the day.
First pitch to JT Naviak is going to be low and away for ball 1 for Navarrete. He gets the strikeout on Call, but he reaches on the drop, 3rd strike. And it's been 6 consecutive innings with a run for the Conejo Oaks. Started this game off in the 1st. Saints got a run to come across in the top of the 1st, but then losing the lead in the 2nd after giving up a 7 spot to the Oaks, and at least 1 run coming across in each of the next 5 innings after that, including another 3 spot in the 6th. We are now in the bottom of the 8th. We got a runner at first, 1 down, and the Conejo Oaks lead 14-2 over the Saints right now, and Navarrete coming back after 2 balls to deliver a strike, and 2-1 now the count to Naviak.
And the next pitch, fired in, strike two, even it up now, 2-2 for Navarrete. Ground ball could get us out of the inning. And the pitch from Navarrete, it's a fastball, rather the curveball, a little bit off of it, and it's a strikeout for Navarrete.
Good location there, just trying to get him on the inner half of the plate. Just trying to locate it ideally. Wasn't trying to do too much with it.
Great pitch from Navarrete to switch things up after coming back fastball last pitch and then getting the curveball to retire Naviak. He has not been an easy out today. Sat 1 for 2 with a couple of walks, and that strikeout just the second time he gets out. Now back to the top of the order for Austin Carrillo, who has yet to be retired. And that first pitch to Carrillo is ball 1, and Navarrete starting this one from behind. That one missing as well. It will be ball 2. And looks like we actually have a change in there. It's Cody Suslak taking over for Austin Carrillo, number 6 for the Oaks. And Navarrete currently down 3-0 to Suslak. Two down here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Oaks currently lead 14-2. And in a different story at the plate for each team. Just 5 hits for the Saints, 13 for the Oaks. And very telling right now of how this ball game has gone. As Navarrete working back now, down 3-0, and fires a strike in there, 3-1 now to Suslak.
Maybe one of the tougher games here for the Saints this year, having really been on this side of the spectrum, really.
And Navarrete battling back, big fastball there. Now gets the count full. Series finale versus the Oaks and season finale. Like we've mentioned, as Navarrete will fire that one past him for strike 3. Suslak goes down on strikes. Navarrete able to get out of the inning without getting a run across. First time in 6 innings for the Saints that they have not allowed a run. They head into the top of the 9th inning. They'll have 3 outs left. They trail the Conejo Oaks 14-2. Top of the 9th inning, the Conejo Oaks lead the Arroyo Seco Saints 14-2, 3 outs away from a victory. Brandon Madrigal coming in for the Oaks to try to close things down. Not a save opportunity, obviously, with the wide margin of leading right now, but Brendan Boning, Jackson Cobb, and Tommy Castillo will be the 3 due up in the top of the 9th inning for the Saints. And the first pitch from Madrigal to Boning is about to be underway, and he misses just low and outside. It'll be ball 1 to Brandon Boning.
Brandon Madrigal, a teammate of Derek Yu from Columbia University.
Saw Derek Yu earlier in the game, along with a plethora of other pitchers, as Madrigal gets his first strike, evening the count 1-1. Saw Dom Dorado start things off, went 2 innings, and gave up that 7 spot in the 2nd inning and was quickly pulled. And from there, we've seen Corey Shepard, Tommy Hannan, Derek Yu, Daniel Richardson, Diego Avila, and Eric Navarrete the last inning for the Saints. 7 pitchers for the Saints used today, trying to get everyone's arm loose and warmed up, ready for Lincoln in the midweek. After Boning swings at that one, he'll be behind 1-2 now to Madrigal.
Just trying to get the final tuning, just trying to get ready for the postseason, allow everybody to get an inning of work and at least try to get them ready for that postseason.
As we've mentioned a lot today, Conejo Oaks needed a win today to get into the playoffs, and they came out ready to go. They're going to be paying attention to that Orange County Riptide Santa Barbara Foresters game as well. And 2 balls missing high to Brandon Boning. This count has worked from 1-2 to full for Boning at the plate. Picked up a double his last time up. Was unable to come around to score, even though leading off that inning. And the full count pitch from Madrigal. It's fouled off by Boning, and he'll live to see another pitch. Jackson Cobb awaits on deck, also 0 for 3 on the day. And Brandon Boning takes the full count pitch, and he'll reach via the walk his 2nd time reaching base in as many at-bats.
What an at-bat there for Brandon Boning. Was able to work it back, had a 2-strike count, went after 2 pitches, then able to take 4 straight balls to be able to get himself on.
It's a leadoff walk for Brandon Madrigal to Brandon Boning. And now Jackson Cobb, the 9-hitter and second baseman for most of the regular season here in his last regular season at-bat, you would think. Facing Brandon Madrigal, looking for a hit. First pitch, swinging, and he goes the other way with it. It's a ball that's in the left field. It's going to be fielded by Hunter Call, and it's going to be Cobb and Boning stretching it into an extra 180 feet, Boning from first to third, and Jackson Cobb has the double.
The center fielder, number 4.
They could be trailing by 12, but that's not going to stop them from playing baseball the way that they do. Nice directional hitting from Jackson Cobb, able to slap down the other way, getting 2 runners to scoring position and trying to set the table up for Tommy Castillo.
These at-bats still count for the stats. And his last AB of the regular season, what looks to be, is a double for Jackson Cobb. And now 2 runners in scoring position back up for the top of the order. Tommy Castillo out of Long Beach State, the leadoff man, coming in for his 5th AB now. And swinging big at Madrigal's first pitch. Missing there, it's strike 1. Wishing you could have this sort of start to an inning somewhere else along the way rather than the 9th. Already trailing 12 in this ball game is the Saints, as Madrigal has a nasty curveball end up in the strike zone, and he's ahead 0-2 now on Castillo.
Has some late bite to the curveball there that just manages to cross the plate at the knees. Very tough spot to hit there.
0-2 the pitch now to Castillo. He's well in front of the curveball, and he'll be retired on strikes for the first out here in the 9th inning for the Saints.
Now batting, the designated hitter.
It's a tough day for Tommy Castillo. Had a great start to the ball game with an infield single, a stolen base, then being able to come in to score on the RBI ground out hit by Jake McMurray, but ever since then he has just been struggling at the plate.
Connor Bradshaw now stepping in with 2 runners in scoring position. It was Brandon Boning reaching via the leadoff walk, and then Jackson Cobb doubling down the left field line. Tommy Castillo just falling victim to the strikeout bug. And now Connor Bradshaw taking his last AB of the ball game, you would think. 1-0 the count to him from Madrigal. And the next pitch is a curveball, sets up outside his arrows. That's where it goes, but Bradshaw will not bite. It's now 2-0. Would be an opportunity to go out with a little bit of pride if they score a couple of runs here in Thousand Oaks in a game that has been all Oaks since the beginning. And Connor Bradshaw gets that one off the inside of the bat and fouls it away and out of play. 2-1 now the count to Bradshaw. As we said, Saints will make the trip up to Lincoln, California on Wednesday for the CCL playoffs. Things looking to get solidified here as that curveball is going to hit the corner. 2-2. Conejo Oaks looking like they'll make it in there, as well as the San Luis Obispo Blues and the Arroyo Seco Saints from the South Division, as well as from the North, the Healdsburg Prune Packers and the Lincoln Potters looking to be the favorites to make it from the North. 2-2 pitch from Bradshaw. Misses outside. Count is now full.
I think by the time this ball game ends, the very important ball game that every Conejo Oak fan is going to be watching, that OC Riptide versus Santa Barbara Foresters game will be on.
Full count now, and that one's going to get away. Brandon Boning's going to come in to score on the pass ball, and Bradshaw reaches via the walk, and Cobb moves over to third from second. Now there'll be runners at the corners for Drew Cowley after the run comes in to score on the pass ball.
Got to take advantage of any runs that are presented to you. And at this point, not very many runs have been able to be presented here today.
Bradshaw reaching on his second walk, does not pick up a hit today. Will finish the day 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts and a fly ball to left field his last time up before that walk. Now Drew Cowley, the man who has been the lone bright spot for the Saints. As that one hit the other way, it's going to be a play for call, and not going to be able to tag up is Jackson Cobb. Drew Cowley, first time he's retired today, he'll finish off 3 for 4, and now the Saints down to their last out.
The first baseman, number 2, Jake McMurray.
Runners at the corners here in the top of the 9th. Saints down to their last out. Jake McMurray at the plate. First pitch from Brandon Madrigal is swung on and missed. First strike one to McMurray. Saints have a run that came across the score on a pass ball in the inning. Just the third run of the ball game. Currently trailed 3-14. One out remaining. Runners at the corners are Cobb and Bradshaw. Madrigal misses there, even the count now 1-1 to McMurray. McMurray currently sitting 0 for 4 today. Has an RBI though. That one misses upstairs. And it's now 2-1 to McMurray. And the pitch now from Madrigal, the 2-1, misses outside. It's now 3-1 to McMurray. And still have runners on the corners. Cowden on deck. Should McMurray get past Madrigal, he'll have the hitters count 3-1 coming at him next. And the pitch. It's well up and away, and McMurray will reach on the walk. And bases will be loaded now for the BYU Cougar, Josh Cowden.
So definitely improve some of the numbers here for the Saints hitters that have been coming up with some base hits, getting some walks, a run scored by Brandon Boning, and just trying to find ways to improve on the stat lines.
And looks like in the 9th inning, up by 11, 2 outs already. We're going to have a pitching change here in Conejo. And we'll have to wait and see who's coming in. We'll take a quick break here till we find out the pitcher, and we'll be right back once we figure that one out on the Saints Radio Network. Brandon Madrigal unable to finish the 9th inning. It's going to be number 31, Clayton Rickerman. With 2 down, the bases loaded here in the 9th inning. Situation that seems strenuous and tenseful, but it is currently an 11-run difference right now for the Saints. Down 3-14 here in Thousand Oaks against the Conejo Oaks. And now we're going to have a meeting at the mound to see what Arrows needs to discuss. And it's a quick meeting. Maybe thinking about what's for lunch after this, 4 o'clock. Circling here in Thousand Oaks, California. Matinee baseball. Rickerman's first pitch will be to Josh Cowden. And the delivery. It's curveball, low and inside. And it'll be ball 1 to the BYU Cougar, Cowden.
Would you think it's lunch or maybe dinner around this time?
Well, when you're my size, it's usually second lunch right about now. Maybe first dinner. But it's right in that area, 4:30. As that one sliced away and fouled off by Josh Cowden. It'll now be 1-1 the count. Here in the 9th inning in Thousand Oaks, California, Cal Lutheran University. Conejo Oaks currently lead 14-3 in the ball game. Josh Cowden could be his last at-bat of the regular season. Swinging at that one and well ahead of it. Now 1-2 to the Milkman Cowden.
Could be the last pitch of the regular season for the Saints. Cowden stepping in against Rickerman. Bases loaded here in the top of the ninth. The pitch from Rickerman. It's up and away. It'll be ball two. Counts now evened up 2-2 to Cowden. Rickerman coming in for relief for Brandon Madrigal, unable to get through the ninth inning, giving up the one run, the bases loaded. The pitch to Cowden is skied up in the air, just over our heads, and the count will remain 2-2.
Thought that was going to come our way, give us an opportunity to not only show off our hitting skills from earlier, but now show off some of our glove work now.
Don't even need the glove, barehanded. Fire it back over there, too, if I would have caught that one. Promise you, I would have got back over the net here. But instead, it will be 2-2 to Cowden. Rickerman's pitch. It's swung on and missed, and the game will be over. Cowden goes down on strikes. Rickerman able to close it out. Not a close one here at Cal Lutheran University. Saints take this loss 14-3 in a game that they gave up the lead in the second inning after a 7-run second inning and did not come back at all in this one. The Saints will move down to 21-16 to finish their regular season work, as the Conejo Oaks will finish 20-17. 2 wins in a row for the Oaks to finish the season, 2 losses in a row for the Saints to finish the season. We'll see what they can do in Lincoln, Nebraska, as the playoffs will begin on Wednesday now for the playoffs. That was the regular season finale for both these teams. And Alex, a rough outing from the Saints today. What do you think they need to focus on and fix up most heading into the CCL playoffs in Lincoln come Wednesday?
Well, I don't think it really just comes down to one thing. I think it comes down to multiple things, and it really comes down to, first of all, you can't hit in the playoffs like you did today. That's unacceptable. To only score 3 runs just like the way you did, it's 100% unacceptable. Second of all, pitching the way that the Saints did, that is also unacceptable as well. The amount of runs given up in 5 straight innings, you have to hold it down. You have to keep every at-bat as intense as possible, and you have every pitch is very valuable in the postseason. That's why when you watch postseason baseball, you're not going to see a whole lot of pitches pitched in the heart of the plate. You're going to see some pitching at the corners, painting corners. You're going to see low strikes. You're going to see some very good pitching in postseason. As you mentioned during the broadcast, good pitching is what wins you ball games ultimately.
As we said here, the Saints pitching staff looking rough today as they take a loss to the Conejo Oaks 14-3. Losing pitcher will be Dominic Dorado. The winning pitcher will be Joseph Wiersma for the Conejo Oaks. And the Oaks will await the results of an Orange County Riptide game versus the Santa Barbara Foresters, looking to punch their ticket to Lincoln as well. There is no time left here in Thousand Oaks, California. Our series finale and our season finale for the regular season. Next time we're playing baseball, it's postseason baseball for the Arroyo Seco Saints. They're awaiting their seeding and their next game on Wednesday in Lincoln, California. That's all we know, and that's where they'll be. For all of us here at Arroyo Seco Baseball, I'm Tommy Wirtz. To my right, my color commentator today was Alex Naveja. It's been a pleasure to call games for you all regular season for the Arroyo Seco Saints, but now comes the nitty-gritty. We will get into postseason baseball the next time the Saints will play, as they fall to the Conejo Oaks today, 14-3. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your day, and good night, Mom.